Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life.
Hello everyone and welcome back to ESL Challenger League Season 51 Europe Cup number 1. My name's Lucy. Joining me tonight is Ted, and we are deep into the cup now, finally into the top 6 teams, and we're here on the lower side with a pretty exciting game, Alliance versus GenOne.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a banger of a series, Lucy, and I've been looking forward to this one. I'm not going to lie to you. The last couple of days have been very exciting as well. We've been saying goodbye to a lot of playing teams, but now, as you pointed out, we're left with just 6, and I feel like there isn't a single team in the last couple that you can't imagine going all the way and potentially winning it all, right? And getting not only that 12.5k or 12k dollars, but getting that spot into the Season 51 Europe Finals as well. So it's pretty much all to play for, especially for those teams that are still in the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. We can take a look at that bracket now and kind of see where we stand with all things. The upper bracket has kind of played out to Just Mouse and NXT and TDK remaining. We're down in the lower bracket at the moment, where we're focusing in on GenOne versus Alliance. You can see that run from Alliance coming through to get a freebie over X-Ruby, who forfeit that game. So you take those, but they won the domestic derby versus Johnny Speeds. A pretty convincing win versus Rebels as well. And yeah, they've been looking pretty solid here since dropping down in basically the second round.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very good run out of these guys. I feel like one of the teams that has progressed so much over the course of the last couple of months, especially with the signing of Mayo now around a month ago. Towards the lower part of the lower bracket, we've got Leo taking on Ill Will. Who doesn't love a little bit of good old Nemanja magic? In a lower bracket, Ill Will doing something similar actually to the side of the Alliance against a very early drop into the elimination games, but they have been playing some good Counter-Strike, not dropping a map since they found themselves here.
Yeah, it's weird to have Nemanja playing on a team that isn't Zero Tenacity. That's a real strange one for me. Here's the prize pool, what everything's being competed for. I think really also the big thing here is that if you win first, you get that spot at the Season 51 Europe Finals. I think that's kind of the, I guess, major prize here. Obviously, no one would say no to 12k, but I think with the way that Challenger League is structured now, I think those spots in the finals is kind of the key thing you're fighting towards, right? It's all scaling up to event by event. So that's what's being fought for, to stay in contention for that. A couple of players to take a look at here, Ted, going into this series. Sorry, that's actually just the teams that are playing against each other. But there's been a few standout players. Obviously, you mentioned Malo9 joining this squad this year. A lot of hype around this kid, right? That goes without saying in everybody's top prospect list, all of the HLTV. Kind of got a bit boring, to be honest, how everyone kept hyping him up. We could take a look at that full Alliance roster so that you can see the rest of the squad. But so far, he's lived up to expectations since joining the team.
No, it's been very interesting, right? Meo obviously has been the #1 star of the team, and he's not that standard aggressive rifle type of guy. He's gonna have some star positions on the CT side, but then T side, he's a bit more of a lurker, and it's been such a long run for this organization in Counter-Strike, in particular for Avid and Twiz that have been around for such a long time on this team. But now with the additions of Era, Yuppie, and most recently Meo, they've been actually winning some games, Lucy. Up until 1 year and a half ago, the Alliance was kind of one of these teams that was just feeding free wins to a lot of the other teams in Tier 2, Tier 3 online Counter-Strike, right? But over the course of the last couple of weeks, they've been able to take down some big names. Los Kogutos, Sinners, Metasport, Phantom. They've been playing some very good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mentioned Melee 9, but actually another player that I think is worth looking at is Era, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's been fairly kind of run-of-the-mill for the most part in the last year or so, but this year, coming into it, maybe with the injection of new blood that's kind of revitalized the team a bit, he's stepped up a chunk. We see 1.14 is the average rating. That's the last 3 months. If you just make that this year, since Melee 9 joined the team, jumps up to 1.17. Yeah, he's been super influential, and it's been really cool to see his uptick in form, you know, as a pretty important role, obviously, as the AWP on the squad. So when you've got a rifler that can really step up in Melee 9, you've got Avid performing well as well. You've kind of got these three pieces that are all really stepping up.
Yeah, it's very difficult to take them down, especially on that kind of rejuvenation era that Era is on, right? All of us remember him from his days on Gamer Legion, but that's long in the past now, and he's been playing some good Counter-Strike. On the other side of the server, though, Lucy, we've got the Frenchman with a little bit of Belgium spice in there as well. We've got MBK, Chucky, Brooksy, Joko, and Misuta, a team that, when it got announced around half a year ago, maybe a little bit more now, I personally didn't really think that this is a project that could actually sustain and, you know, stay for a longer period of time and find some success, but they have been playing some very good Counter-Strike as well.
Yeah, it's actually, it's been cool to see this kind of resurgence for them. Obviously dropped down into the lower bracket here after the loss to TDK, who are an exciting team with Axel, Nafani, Zorte, kind of all the bench players from other rosters grouping together and actually kind of farming. But it's cool to see MBK back in the squad, and Masuda as well, too. Two players that had played at the top of French CS for some time. I mean, MBK is one of the most storied French players of all time. And Joko as well, finding a new team after 3D Max is really nice. Chucky's, I guess, the player that I think stands out the most. Both him and Brooksy are kind of players that I think I hadn't had on my radar too much. They kind of been floating around in a few of these different French teams, but he's been looking really good since the most recent shift of bringing in Joko, Masuta, and MBK.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the French team was going through a bit of a crisis with finding some capable opers, right? Obviously, you had Kersey, who got the promotion into Gamer Legion, but things didn't quite work out for him, so they decided to go over to Belgium and bring Chucky in, and he's been playing on that type of circuit for a very long time. A lot more passive of an opener in comparison to an Era. He's not that particular star, so to speak, but when he's on the server, he definitely knows how to take over, and I feel like that head-to-head between him and Era going into the game is going to be quite vital for the outcome.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to watch because, as you say, pretty different play styles in that respect. I personally haven't got to see GenOne in the server yet, so I'm excited to see kind of what they're going to be looking like here. We have the Veto flying through, see what we're going to be playing out on. Mirage and Nuke banned out. Neither of these teams actually likes Mirage, so I think Alliance are probably happy that GenOne obviously have to go for that for the perma. It gives Alliance a bit more freedom with the Veto. Interesting that they opt to go for Ancient. Oh, sorry. Inferno. Yeah, it makes sense. Ancient, sorry, read the logos around the wrong way. Inferno's been so dominant for Alliance. So Ancient is where GenOne decide to try and exploit.
I'll actually say that I dislike this approach from GenOne. I feel like, as you pointed out, you made a very shrewd point. Both these teams don't really like playing Mirage, right? So if you're GenOne, I guess you could still look at it as a risk to float Mirage, right? And not ban it in the first veto phase, because the Alliance could decide to just throw a Hail Mary and go for it. But when you remove Mirage like this, you're just allowing Alliance to go for an Inferno, right? An Inferno, which notoriously in the history of the game has always been pretty decent for French teams, but it hasn't quite been the case for GenOne. It rather has been a very weak point for this team. And then on the other hand, you're looking at the Alliance that have won 9 out of the 10 games that they've played on this map in the past couple of months, and they've won 8 maps on Inferno in a row, right? And very rarely do they actually concede double digits, and when they do, it's only against teams like Sinners, for example, that are on top of their game right now. So I feel like if you're looking at this veto in the end of it in your alliance, you're going to be pretty happy about it.
Yeah, actually, I don't hate the way you've thought about that there. You know, you kind of bait Alliance, like, there's no way they pick Mirage. I mean, you don't want to risk it, I guess, on some level, right? Like, because what if they did? And you're suddenly like, well, shoot, now we're playing up permaban. I guess that's why Alliance get that little edge, but Inferno is just so rock solid for them. They're also on just a great series win streak at the moment. 7 in a row this week. 5 of those flawless in a row too. They haven't dropped a map in 5 series, and they've beaten Metasport, Johnny Speeds, Sinners, Los Caguitas. These are all really, really solid teams. So I think form-wise, you've got to be looking at Alliance, and especially with the veto in consideration, as the favorites in this series.
No, absolutely you should be. Considering the recent form, considering the veto, one of the good things that GenOne have going on for them, especially going into that map number 1 though, is the fact that in the last couple Ancients that the Alliance have played, they have not been able to get a win. This is 4 back-to-back losses, Unity, OG, BC game, and Big, but then you're looking at the level of competition, and it is a little bit higher than probably what you're expecting to see out of the level of GenOne. But I feel like, especially after having the opportunity to watch the French team progress across the last couple of months, especially when it comes down to their Ancient, I feel like you'd be pleasantly surprised with the amount of proactive plays, with the amount of disrespect even at times that they're giving to the other teams. That is when they're on the CT side. T side wise, I feel like this is where the Alliance could get an opportunity, right? We were pinpointing some of the individuals, guys like Mail that have been playing very well, like Era, like Avid, who's been performing very well, in particular in the Challenger League. Those are the people that you need to put in a good position to begin with if you're Alliance. You want to get their confidence up, you want to make them feel like they have the freedom to take those fights in towards middle, in towards the lane, to put a little bit of pressure on the shoulders of GenOne and hope that they're not going to be able to handle it.
It's really interesting actually looking at GenOne's kind of recent history in Ancient, because they're losing some games to teams you wouldn't expect them to lose to, but then they're beating teams that are heavily favored, right? That they've got wins over Fnatic, over BetBoom, over Nine. Like, it's like, okay, it seems like they're winning the games they maybe shouldn't be, but then losing some that they shouldn't be as well. Really interesting mix of results for them. So maybe it just depends which GenOne shows up on the day that makes the difference here. But I guess if you're a fan of French Counter-Strike, you're hoping it's the good one.
Yeah, it's I feel like French Counter-Strike in a nutshell, right? If you put it that way. It's just hyper-aggressive. It's playing on a lot of chances, on a lot of timings, on a lot of risks. And the upside to it is that if that works out, you could actually get into a very good spot. You can get into positions where the CTs are not ready for you, or the other team is just not ready for that amount of solo peaks. It's happening different points of the map at the same time. But then if it doesn't work out, it looks a little bit silly, right? It looks like you're a little bit disjointed. And we're talking about the Alliance. As you pointed out, Lucy, it's been very difficult to identify a weak map for the side of Alliance, bar that Mirage, but they can just perma veto that more often than not. So you're looking at everything else. It's very difficult to imagine that you're going to have a clear punishment pick and a veto against these guys nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like the only places you can really go are a Nuke or Anubis, right? It feels like they're the most obvious picks that you want to lean into, but I think for GenOne, they didn't really have a confidence in doing that. I could have definitely seen the Nuke pick coming out. Like, it is a tricky one to pick into sometimes if it's not a map you're 100% on, but it is a map that GenOne have been quite good on lately. They're on, again, another good run of wins on that, like 5 in a row, including a win over Sinners, who I think are a very strong team on that map. So yeah, that was definitely the other option. I think that they've just gone into Ancient because it is a bit of a comfort, and it's also one that Alliance haven't been getting as many reps on, so you can understand why they've gone there. It just feels that they have to win their map pick regardless because of that looming Inferno.
No, absolutely. If you are GenOne, you're going into this game again as a team that's trying to play basically every single map in the map pool, which is not always going to be very easy, as we pointed out, Barda, Mirage, but the fact that you have a couple other weak sides as Anubis, as Inferno, makes it a little bit complicated. It just puts a little bit more pressure on your shoulders to win your map pick every single time, right? You're going to have a selective couple of maps that you feel a little bit more comfortable on, maps like Nuke, maps like Dust 2, maps like Ancient, and if you go into a game and you can't convert these, more often than not, you're going to be thrown into a very difficult position. And I feel like that's one of the reasons that we've seen such a high discrepancy between the levels of consistency of both these teams, right? You're looking at Alliance, they have a deeper map pool, they have more comfortable maps to lean on in some of their individuals, and their playstyle in general doesn't rely on, I guess, randomness to the same extent, whereas with GenOne, a lot of conditions come into play, right? What type of a team are we going to be playing against? Are they comfortable on one of the maps that we're not comfortable on? Because this is part of our game, and we do struggle when it comes down to Inferno and Anubis, and obviously the Mirage removal, which we're not even bringing into that conversation. And then, is that a team that stylistically is a little bit more structured? Is that a team that have their protocols in check? Are we going to be able to find these gaps around the map? Are we going to be able to make them uncomfortable and thrive into the chaos in a very easy way? Or will they have the necessary depth to actually counter that? And what do we do if that is the case?
Well, we're about to find out. I believe we are getting very close to hopping into the game, and in fact should be coming out right now. Ancient to kick off our series between GenOne and Alliance, the map pick of GenOne, the French plus Belgium squad, looking to provide an upset victory over an Alliance in very good form.
A CT side start for the Swedes. A bit of a four-man lean in towards the B-bomb side. The anti not going their way, though. A bit of a walk in towards the donut. Gotta be careful with this one, UP. He's all alone and on the timer.
All right, well, Upe's going to take some space in towards main. And oh, what a shot onto MPK.
All right.
Doesn't even get a chance to respond. Bomb will be planted at least, and well, it's a bit of an unconventional one. A bit worried about donut, obviously. Does mean they have to get this A main control, and Upe's just being such an annoyance here. Staying alive for so long, allowing his teammates to come through, and now Twist providing the one-taps. Nothing found, no damage until Jocko finds one. But what an exceptional pistol round from Alliance.
Yeah, this is such a big round out of UP, by the way. That was the call couldn't have been more wrong for the pistol as well, right? And it's absolutely mental that they win it in such a clean fashion, because UP is all alone. His only valuable option the moment that he spots more than one player in towards donut is, okay, I have to reposition, I have to push in towards A main. If I stay on the bomb side, if I try to go tempo, if I try to go back CT, there's so many cases in which I'm just gonna get taken down, and then it's an impossible round for my teammates to retake, especially with the lack thereof of the defuse kit. He's able to push in towards main, get that kill, stay alive for a little bit longer. Everybody else arrives, and just like that, you're already one round up. Potentially 2 rounds as well. Just a couple pistols for the Frenchies in that number 2. Although French Counter-Strike, that was the prime French Counter-Strike times, Lucy, when the CZ was a meta. And pistols have always been good for these guys.
Yeah, you say prime, like CZ's not been meta for like, what, 8 years now?
Yeah, no, I'm talking, I'm old now. I'm pretty aware of that. But 2017, 2016, 18, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, the NV days.
I'll tell you what, though.
Remembers those days.
Jocko, there's one thing I know about Jocko. He's got a mean dig. Like, this guy hits someone digs. Not this round, though. All right, I tried to hype it up a little. But he is legitimately very good with it.
Yeah. No, Joko's... Woo, okay. What about some OG shots coming out of MBK? But Joko's an interesting conversation. I'm actually glad you're bringing him up, because we were talking a little bit about MBK and the experience he's bringing to the table, a little bit about Chucky and Brooksy as the new guys on this team and the new people to that level of competition almost for a lot of the people watching, and obviously Misuta, who was on Vitality before. Joko's the one that kind of flies under the radar, but he was part of that core of 3D Max as they were breaking through into the tier 1 echelons of Counter-Strike, right? He played the Shanghai Major with them, got removed right before Kato last year, where he got replaced by Body, but it never really felt like he was slacking individually. I feel like he's always been a very skilled player.
Big fight towards middle. Upe does get caught. A couple of SMGs brought into this round. The MP7s trying to fight middle. Maybe not quite the most favored duel. Melo 9 trying to get cheeky around that smoke. Does dart back as the HE reigns over. So nice opening pick found, and well, Brooksy still gets that kill. Thought he was dead to rights, and he'll be happy with that one.
Melo still pushing forward. This is a very assertive play out of him. Does get exposed to elbow though, and will get punished eventually. They tried to fight in towards middle of the Alliance, but now they've been put in a very tough spot. Avid and Twist, a 2v4, and it doesn't really feel like they're making the right read. They were both in towards B, but they're already walking away.
Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward now. CTs group up and go information gathering. Bit of a gamble towards A. We can see pretty clearly that GenOne, their intention is to go towards B. So first gun round coming pretty handedly. Lovely double kill from Brooksy in middle. And Chucky also with good awareness of that potential third.
Yeah. You can understand why the decision is stack A as well, right? Because if you're from the POV of Alliance, if you look at this round, you're saying, well, we lost our Oper, we lost our A player, and we lost our mid player. So Alliance should know, or GenOne should know that A is empty, right? That's why you just rotate away, but they kill the pace of the round a little bit, slow it down, walk up the B bomb site, save call already being made by Avid and Twist. It was always going to be like this. If they come towards us on the A bomb side, we can give this 2v4 a crack. If they go B, we just hold on to the rifles. And that was a bit of a bonus round for the CTs either way, right? Mail still has a decent amount of money, so the UP and Twist can drop one over to Era. Mail might even drop over an OP, so chances are the next buy round is actually going to be a little bit better in comparison to this one where they had a bunch of SMGs still, a FAMAS. Next one's going to be the real deal, but it's still good for GenOne to get around on the board very early on.
Yeah, I think it was always going to be tricky trying to fight with the MP7s in middle. Are you converted to the MP7 now? I've been using it a fair bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was good cohesion there. Ask me at the same time. I like it. You know what? I was very skeptical at the start. Then I played it a bunch. I've seen a couple players play it a bunch as well.
It feels good, doesn't
probably
it?
to more success than it works in my hands, but yeah, it's very good. It's very good. The MP5 I'm not a fan of, though. I don't understand the update there. I don't know what the fuss is all about. But the MP7 is very good.
I'm also anti-UMP. I don't know how people can make that work, but yeah, MP7 feels like a laser sometimes, so yeah, getting a lot of use.
Great way to put it.
Good armor penetration as well. Everyone loves a bit of that. Avid gonna have a fight in. Shoko takes his head clean off. There's a breeze out towards long. They're going to have to disassemble that because the pressure is on this push-through cave continuing to mount.
Yeah, the speed is absolutely immense. In towards middle, they already have the control. They have cave already as well. And you can see Alliance, they're forced to go for a stack and maybe for a re-aggression, but Misuta is just ready for it.
Era still scoped up as well. Halo Knight. Well, he won't get anything. So Era does find his with the AWP, but it's only one. Jocko, another head added to his tally. He said this gun round would have everything for Alliance. Well, hasn't had a lot in the way of kills.
They're just so sharp, aren't they? The Frenchmen. I mean, you just see the way that they went into the fight in towards middle in the last round. You just flash through, go out, win the first 1v1, round pretty much over. It's the same scenario here. Joko just has the first pawn to go into towards cave. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and rip this guy's head off. That's exactly what he does. And that's one of the things, by the way, if you're Alliance and you're used to playing against more, I guess, controlled and methodical T-sides when it comes down to a map like Ancient, GenOne are just going to run for these fights whenever they have the spawn, right? They're just going to bring the fight to you very quickly, very rapidly, with no hesitation. So most of the time, if you want to hold cave like this with a solo guy, you either need the Molotovs, or you need to smoke them off instantly, or you need the AWP to stay there, or you need to start with 2 players. You need to put a little bit of extra effort to stop GenOne from taking map control as they are. Especially when they're hitting the shots, it could be a very big drag to deal with.
A bit of reality check for Alliance after they started so strong with that pistol. Twist's got the Zeus. I like the HUD showing the Zeus very clearly as well. I like this call from GenOne as well.
Highlighting what matters the most.
You know that their money's broke, so just contact up B. MBK will probably shoot Twist in the back of the head as well. Good flashbang.
Nice flash.
I don't know if you can get much off it though. There's already a smoke long and... Yep. So it's no effect at that range.
It's every player's nightmare. You've got the Zeus, you're hoping you get a close range fight, and then someone just peeks you from that long of a distance. You're basically dead. But that's a bunch of rifles that they can hold on to for the next round, and this is not too bad of a result. You can still send Era in, as well as Mayo, to play for some exits if they want to. Chucky's already posted on the line though. Should have no issues collecting that one, and that will be the case indeed. So it's another pretty clean round out of the side of GenOne. Money's going to be looking very good on the T side after this. They're already looking at a couple players around 5, 6k, a couple more in towards that 3, 4k mark. But from here on out, it's going to be very difficult for the Alliance to get freebies on that CT side. In most of the rounds, they're going to have to deal with the AKs in the open hands of Chucky.
Great start to the T side. 3-2 up. And yeah, keeping so many players alive. Won't have the AWP yet for error either. Money's still being kept in check. Mid's been a lot of success for GenOne, so we'll see if they continue to put that pressure on. Does look like they want to contest it.
It is the type of team that just revolves around the idea of if we can get an opening frag in the first 20 seconds of a round, then we're going to be fine, right? So they are willing to take the chances this time around. Not a lot of fights given away, but again, in towards middle, Mayo might get tested.
He's going to fall back so he's not giving up any sort of notice that he's here. There's no molly to clear his position. With Upe coming over, this bait and switch is going to be perfect, you think, but okay, never mind, it is perfect. Thought with Upe going down first, Melo 9 would maybe be in a tricky position, but he gets 2, gets away ahead of the molly. Chucky, though, will catch off Twist on the rotate, still a 3-on-3.
Yeah, maybe a moment of miscom there, right? Because May was able to get out of dodge, but Twist was just rushing to try and help and make sure that he's not going to get isolated and run down by the players. So Mayo now forced to actually take a bit more of a passive stance, and GenOne again adopting that Wolfpack mentality, right? No flanks, no lurks, nothing of the likes. All 3 of them just stuck in towards Donut, just waiting for the right moment to strike, and it does feel like Mayo will have to go absolutely huge here.
Well, if there's ever a player to do it right, it's got to be him. But with half HP, it does feel a little bit tricky. Pause from GenOne while they wait to see if there is going to be a response, a re-clear in towards Donut. The clock will force their hand very shortly.
It feels like Mayo just needs to play for his life, right? He's just waiting for the sound cues. He's not going to give them a peek, probably. Just wait for the rotations to arrive. If he's able to hold on to tempo, then they could give this 3v3 retake a bash, but no one in towards B is moving. They got to get going.
Are they going to? Finally, they're going to hear this bomb being planted. Don't think Mel can deny this. In the smoke especially. Silent shot, though. Perfectly executed. Might have a chance to catch a player here. Looking around the edge of this smoke. Can't quite see anyone. Worried a little bit about A main. Jocko might get short, or in fact, no.
Good
really
flash.
Thought there was going to be this flank in from CT elbow, but Avid can't find in the flashback, as you say, completely catches him, and with Mel going down, it's got to be the save of these rifles.
It's a bit unfortunate as well for the CTs, right? Because the purpose of that flash was Joko wanted to peek deep into her CT spawn, but that's the exact moment when Mayo actually peeks and goes down. And then the flash just acts as protection for Joko, I guess, because the refrag just couldn't come in on time. Player trying to swing, fully blinded, couldn't see a thing. And GenOne have now picked up 4 in a row on that T side. Money, not going to be that big of an issue for the side of the Alliance with a maximum loss bonus. Avid and Eric can just drop over guns. Eric can even purchase himself an AWP if they really want to go for the reinvestment, which they probably should. But it still is a little bit disappointing that they're losing the round on the back of that double kill. Or albeit the double kill coming out of Mayo in towards Donut. Felt like it should have been enough to put them in a good spot.
Yeah, sort of position where you feel that, I mean, sure, Twist gets caught, but you kind of feel like you have to make a info play at that point. Because you know if it is going to be an A finish, that Mail can't really do anything to stop it. So I would have thought maybe those 2 B players, given they're so far removed, might have gone for a play down ramp, for instance, just to get that info, and then they can come quick over ledge. But they wait until the kind of last second utility reigns in, and obviously they get there a little bit too late to be able to really make that happen.
Yeah, and we're seeing a very good example of those tempo switches coming out of GenOne as well, right? The very explosive way that they start the rounds, how proactive they are in the pursuit of an opening fight, or at least an opening trade, right? They want something to happen in the first 15-20 seconds of a round, and then they're more than happy with just slowing down and making the CTs fill. The level of uncomfortability rise. Now, this is going to be a little bit more slow and steady coming out of the T side. Again, they've been given middle for free, so you gotta wonder, do the Alliance want to get proactive somewhere around the map? They will. Doesn't work, though.
Chucky catches Twist, trying to get cheeky with it. Been pretty solid so far with this AWP, getting a few key picks. That's back-to-back rounds where he's found Twist. Error, the other player we highlighted, only has that 1 to his name. Does have that AWP. There's a lone over in Donut, so going to be the reinforcement over towards B. Could be the right read. Is where the bomb is and the majority of GenOne. And it's double set up in towards Cave. We know how potent it can be.
Yeah, high-low on the boost. Era's able to drop MBK in the meantime. That might give them a little bit of a leeway. Brooksy, does he get even a single kill? Answer is no. Now this is looking a lot better for the CTs.
Yeah, Smoke's also not the best out towards long. Yeah, Ube can just swing off it. Bomb planter busy, and Ube takes 3 with the MP9. Not the player I thought was going to come through with the multi-frag. That smoke was a little bit too deep. You could see he had that little pocket to work in, and yeah, just as soon as that flash comes over, they know a player is busy, they strike. They don't even allow that to become a post plant.
It's literally a game of peekaboo, isn't it? You've got the MP9, the flash goes over, you just peek, you get 1 kill, and then you're out, back in towards the smoke, and they can't even try to go for the refrag, and they have 2 more players to worry about in towards the cave. It was always going to be a difficult one. The moment that both these cave players survived the initial encounter, a much needed round coming out of the Alliance as well. I was just gonna say, they've been playing right into the hand of GenOne since the buy rounds started coming through. Especially with that opening kill in towards that ramp area where Twist goes down. It just felt like this was going to be another one that goes right into the bank for GenOne. But the Alliance showing some teeth.
Great flashbangs in towards middle as well, but still, Melee9 gets caught and then up and over comes Shoko. Thought the flashbangs were going to really set them up, but it was that double layering from GenOne. Again, a player advantage early, but Era finally gets to get involved with his AWP Twist swings as well. MBK looking to find a multi-kill of his own, but Twist says no. Leaves it to Masuta, who is very far removed. It feels like there's a read here from Alliance. They have an idea, and yeah, they catch him.
That's a great moment of awareness. What a big round out of Twist as well. He doesn't get the final kill. That was Avid, but that double in towards middle makes all the difference. And this is great out of the Alliance, by the way. I like the adjustment in behavior from the CT side as well, right? They seem a lot more willing to take the fights now. The moment that they lose that initial encounter in towards middle when they're left in a 3v4, they just keep going. They keep bringing the fight to GenOne. And honestly, this is the way to beat those guys, right? You let them just slow things down in a 4 versus 3 and just end the round. So far, it hasn't really been working out for you. Might as well try and throw a spanner into the works, and in this particular round, worked out very nicely.
This time, not the big fight in towards middle. The space conceded. Era in Donut. Here, break on the smoke to be set up for him, but we can see he's not going to see too much from it.
There's a gap in red right now. Brooksy's quite deep, and no one's looking for it.
Yeah, when is the penny going to drop and they bring a player back? Instead, the fight actually comes down ramp, and Melee9 with Avid push through. Avid gets the frag, and whoa, MBK gets a little bit crazy with it. Completely caught out. Brooksy's lurk does find success. The bomb can be scooped up by Chucky. They don't need to commit to B if they don't want to. They might just try and pincer it. This is a little bit strange. There is this push through cave. Avid looking for a timing onto Brooksy, who has paused, considering that this is coming his way. Can the bomb
he knows the step he made were audible.
There it is. Ooh. Still Male is present, and oh, he's seen Chucky. I think that info's gone both ways. Yeah, well, definitely now with the spam, which actually did connect for a little, but the molly meant he couldn't come through. Has to be the retake. Era grouping up. Flashbang. Oh, perfect setup, but the trade comes through. Brooksy been so influential in this round, but he needs to get his gun out because Era's right there. The flashbang. Oh my god, Brooksy, what a round.
Oh, he just heard him going for the jump, just holding the crosshair up, spraying and praying, and able to get the kill. And this is a massive round to steal away if you're Brooksy. All of your teammates just getting obliterated in towards the lane with that crunch. Look at that once again. Peaks coming out of heaven, coming out of the ramp, and then Brooksy's just able to activate even the flashbang to set up the first player to get the kill in towards the ramp. That was so good out of Alliance. This cohesive counter-strike, but Brooksy's just able to outshine it all.
That one's gonna sting for Alliance, who had done so well to find those kills down towards ramp. They had a really cool forward setup, but Brooksy anticipating Avid's push through outer cave. And then all of the necessary frags after that. Not to mention he won that one-on-one duel in Red Room on his left that got that whole round started. So that's an individual just stepping up Look what that's done to the finances of Alliance. Oh,
Ooh.
that's not the jump through.
I mean, it was the jump, not the throw. Very important one coming out of the CT side. Era getting a little bit aggressive. Gonna lose a teammate though, and the moment that you see Twist running like this, Misuta, you should be on high alert about a potential second player being in there. And this is potential money reset as well for the CTs if they lose here. This could still be an 8-4 first half for GenOne.
Little peek down and, well, Jocko sees it. Okay, just dancing. I think he will have spotted him off that jump peak. Molly, not going to upset him. The only player on this side of the map, but reinforcements start to come over. Alliance might be able to make the right read on this. Still not going to have the best weapons for the job. Definitely have a chance in it.
Oh, split smoke coming in. That's going to slow down those two players in towards red, right? They need to be careful about a potential split coming in through red room, and that's going to leave Era in a very tough spot.
Just doesn't get the opportunity there. Masuta outplays him. And yeah, you're right. That smoke just keeps bodies rooted in red. Really nice little misdirection. This will be 6, most definitely. And Alliance have to hold on to these weapons. That AWP completely lost as well. You're taking MP9s and a FAMAS into the next round. And that's if Jocko doesn't just remove them right here. Or gives them an AK.
Yeah. You win some and you lose some. They're still going to get the round on the board, but yeah, that was Joko just giving it a bit of a bash. They don't really have a lot of money on the T side as well, so better hold on to the rifles. You don't want to let the CTs upgrade for free from here on out, but it's those little details, right? The way that GenOne are just throwing you off, they're just creating space for themselves. That split smoke, it doesn't really feel like it does a lot, but as we pointed out, it just delays those two CT players for long enough for the Oper to be completely isolated. And I guess it's a different situation if Era's able to hit that first shot, right? Because he had a 1v1 against Misuta, but Misuta just approaching this one in such a careful way. Mollies, flashes, jiggles, making it very difficult for the Oper to react whatsoever. That's the one we were talking about. It's been a very interesting tactical game between those two teams, right? It's been a battle of minds. There's a lot of logic, not as much chaos going on.
French brain's bigger right now. Big fight in middle. No, big space in middle. No fight. There's, again, Lions just concede all of this. 4 players stacking on B. Obviously, they are keeping money for the next round, so they decide to reinforce one bomb site, hoping it'll be this B play, but unfortunately not going to be. We can see bomb's already in A main. He's the only one over here with this AK, and he's seen nothing. Jocko's been sent scampering, so now they'll get the information, but they're just not going to get here in time.
Yeah, Joko knows as well, right? He spotted those players pushing in towards the ramp. That's a clear signal. There's a gap to be filled in towards the A bomb site. That's a big kill, though. That's bomb dropped. Oh, out of the equation. This could still get a little bit hairy.
Yeah, they have to try and recover it. Oh, Molly, though, forces Twist forward, and he goes down. There's that smoke landing to block off vision. Bomb, yeah, still to be planted. Masuta, there's a chance there for Era. With the AK best, the sidearm. And, oh, Upe almost sprays him down. A lot of damage has been inflicted here, and for Alliance, I mean, they don't have a lot to lose here going for it. So any kills they can find are definitely worth it.
Especially with the flank. They don't have a kid, so they gotta go with this a little bit quicker, but Avid could get a freebie.
Definitely has this one set up. Easy enough to get going. MBK behind the sight boxes. No utility for the T side to stop this. I don't think a defuse can come through. Even with the smoke, and well, definitely with everyone getting found like that. Brooksy, another high impact double. Headshots coming through for him. 7 goes 4. GenOne have 1 out the half and could walk away with 8.
It's been a great half out of Brooksy, by the way. Multi-kills in very impactful moments. He's only on 9 kills, but you think about the 4Ps that he had a bunch of rounds ago. Now there's another important double in a situation where that was technically a 3 versus 3, even though it was still a very difficult one for the CTs to pull off. But it's been a team effort as well from the side of GenOne. Look at the kill distribution. Chucky's bottom fragging with 4 kills. Brooksy's top fragging with 9. Everyone else in between. It's a good sign of a team that's just functioning on all levels.
Alright, finally a bit of aggression in towards middle, but at the same time, it's a pop up towards B. Twist does well to go 1 for 1, nice. And Avid flies on out. The trades come in. But after that kill in middle, it is the advantage for Alliance until MBK steps forward, almost takes 3. Huge from MBK. And Malo 9, he's left with such little HP up against the AWP. So not the worst situation. Oh, we just saw him. Can't fire off the shot. But now he has the information, and Chucky has the molly in the post plant too. Malo 9 being held for. Shot fired, but Chucky surely has this locked in. MBK, what a play.
Yeah, that's a massive first half coming out of GenOne. 8 rounds on that T side. Alliance with a whole lot to do going into the second half.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same.
Well, we had some questions about the ancient pick from GenOne, but they're being answered pretty emphatically. A dominant half on the Teeth side, no less. Mm-hmm. Five B players?
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty quick.
Well, bomb plants guaranteed.
Yeah, that's going to be a very similar situation to the first half pistol. Only that now you don't have that one CT in towards that A main position. 4 players coming out of Donut. Able to find the first one, though, is Chucky.
Yeah, it's basically the same sort of setup. Even the plant in 4 CT. No kit. That's going to be the killer. And Twist taking contact. UP finds the one in CT. MBK can't find the shots, but it's being defused. Oh, it's actually found a spot where you can just defuse it. It's a full 10 second.
No way.
And it's just been stuck. They had no idea it was happening. Oh, that is so cheeky. And the kill on the last bullet. Style from GenOne.
Yeah, well, if we had any disputes over the potential clean closure of that first map for GenOne, I feel like they're out the window now. That was that's a little bit heartbreaking for the side of the Alliance. They felt like they probably had an opportunity to run away with this, especially without a defuse kit, without utility, without the smoke to be dropped on top of the bomb. They just go and stick it straight away. Force buy is still coming through on the back of that bomb plant, and this is a rather interesting one. A straight up plane towards the A bomb side. They have no utility whatsoever. All their utility is in that player towards the B bomb side. They're just gonna contact out A.
Yeah, trying to fake it over there, and just all these Galils gonna try and get it done. That, kids, is why you plant next to the wall, not to the box if you're going for a CT plant, by the way.
Yep.
Here comes that contact. Chucky will spot it out. Scaling in towards Donut is necessary here. Jocko is removed. A lot of damage inflicted, but Avid, critical kills coming in. Bomb to be planted. MBK, though, charges forward, and Upe surely done for. No. Error bails him out and finds another. It's on to Chucky. Into the 1-on-2. Knows he has a player in towards main, but yeah, without a kit, with his flank coming through, he has no idea where Male 09 is. Last seen throwing util at B. So the force buy, surely, yeah, there's nothing Chucky can do. He's realized it. Just got to try and save this M4 because they have to force into the next. Error and Avid providing some critical frags.
Yeah, and I feel like Avid's development as a player over the course of the last couple of years has been very interesting as well, right? Because initially, hold on a second. I'm going to pause on that thought. Chucky might be going down after. Oh, well, never mind. May was just running knife out. So that's a freebie for Chucky. A little bit of bonus cash that's going to go into the bank accounts of every single player on the CT side. But Avid's been a very interesting player to talk about, right? Because initially when the Alliance was struggling that much in their development as a team, he was supposed to be the star. But because of how, I guess, unfunctional the team was, or dysfunctional was the right way to put it, he didn't really get the chance to shine. But bar all the changes happening, he always had a spot on the team. And now you're seeing why. He's been honestly stepping it up massively in the last couple of weeks for this team. 12-7 right now, topping the charts in the entire server. MBK is the one closest to him. Let's go, champ.
Surprising how close a lot of these players are.
Yeah.
Considering the scoreline. We've got a Brooksy Mag 7 in A main. So let's see if that works out. There is going to be Upe here to deal with him, but it looks like, again, Alliance have the right read of it, avoiding this B stack, and yeah, they're just going to contact in 2 rounds in a row where they've just contacted this bomb site. Maybe we still get this fight.
Careful.
Oh, the Mag 7. No.
Woo. Nearly. That felt interesting. And Yuppie's just going to follow up with another show-stopping shot onto Joko. Should go down to the 5-7, but the round has already been secured. It's all about just holding on to a bunch of these guns potentially for the CT side, if allowed to do so. Jens, what is this fight all about? What is going on in towards main? Misut is somehow able to run away with his life and get a second. It's quite costly for the side of the Alliance. They still win the round, but yeah.
Oh no, he might. No, he'll be fine. Actually, I thought he was gonna
be
a bit too close when that went off. The bomb timer made it seem like it was pretty imminent. All right, a Galil and an M4 save. You would have liked an AK to at least make this next round threatening.
Yeah. I do like the approach coming out of the Alliance though, right? As you pointed out, they're just playing on contact right now, knowing there isn't a lot of util and maybe not a lot of good guns on the CT side when the money's a little bit lower. Obviously, they did it in the previous round as well, but it kind of tells you about how confident they are in some of their individuals, right? Even in the previous round where they had the force, you throw in the fake with all the util that you had and towards the B bomb side, you just walk out A and you are confident that you're going to be able to find these kills and get the refrags in time. It's a very changed outlook of that Alliance team to what I remember from just 1 year ago. Suddenly, they're just playing with confidence. And a lot of these calls just make so much more sense when you have people on the server that can shoot back. Felt like it wasn't the case for this team for such a long time. But now you've got Avid popping off. You've got Mail playing well. UP and Twist as well adding in. And as you pointed out, Era's not been having the greatest of games. But it doesn't really feel like he's been needed all that much. Obviously, if he's able to turn it up a bit, then GenOne could still be in a bit of a tricky situation.
That's a little worried looking at the purchases last round as to where it would put them into this round. You can see it has come with some concessions, right? MP9 and a 5.7 for MBK. So there is a slight concern here. Also no head armor on Masuta when you're going up against 4 weapons that will thrive in that sort of environment. Alliance are in a great position. They can convert this round to actually be right back into it after such a dominant start from GenOne. They've only found this one round in the second half so far.
Yeah. And these AWOLs have been an issue to deal with, but you still don't have the money for an AWP, right? So you can't really counter that in a very efficient way. What you could try and do is put a little bit more emphasis on middle, right? Cut away that possibility, or cut off that possibility of a split going in through Donut and A main, or just stack up a bunch of players in towards A main, try and force the issue there. But so far, so good for the T side. Have been uncontested in towards both middle and the A bomb side. It's interesting seeing the difference as well. GenOne prioritizing that B bomb side quite heavily on their T side, and now Alliance doing the same but with the other one.
Chucky really wants to fight in towards middle, and yeah, he'll be rewarded. It was a little risky when he was brought down so low.
Ooh.
Oh, and Brooksy just spams out twist, just the wall bang. That's a brutal way to go. And a great start. That Molly tick, Melee 9 heard. Brooksy delivering again. Fast play in towards middle. Chucky really getting cheeky with it. Ready for exactly what Alliance wanted to throw at them.
Yeah, that's the reaction we wanted to see. That extra player in towards middle. Taking the chance as well to run through all that Yuto just to stop that first guy making his way out the elbow smoke. And now for Era and Yuppie, the name of the game is damage. You get a bunch of kills. It's not going to be too bad of an ordeal, but very difficult to imagine they're going to get given an opportunity to find themselves back in the round. Joko's already pushed in towards A main, and we'll find both Yuppie and Era exposed, surrounded, and already dead. It's not only a round on the board for GenOne, it's a very clean one as well. Not losing a single member. And eyes on the money of the Alliance, by the way. They're a little bit screwed, aren't they?
That's a map-winning round, straight up. It goes the other way, and suddenly Alliance are right back into it. But now, as you mentioned, finances completely scuppered. And for GenOne, they don't really lose too much there at all. So they're very happy. You've got Galil's Tech 9s to work with. After a lot of B, a lot of A, a lot of A, a lot of mid, it's going to be B on the looks of it. Wanting to pop quickly after this initial molly. Is only one defender actually here in Masuta. Yep. I wonder when this rotation comes.
Yeah, Joko's already sprinting. He knows he needs to get into a position very quickly. These smokes are making it very weird for the Heaven players as well. They just can't stop the T's on their way in. They've done a little bit of damage, but still going to be difficult to protect the B bomb side. But the smoke has actually come in time. They've blocked them in towards the ramp.
Oh, and the nade straight down is perfection. Flashbang will force them off the long angle, so the scaling can come through. But at this point, every CT's arrived. Completely locked out and destroyed. Nothing found off this force buy. That means 11 locked in. Twist is wondering what he can get done. But even if he walks through Red Room, that's being held by Brooksy. This is great from GenOne. They are really looking dominant on Ancient. What a statement to kick off this elimination series.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. We were talking about how important their map pick is into the veto going up against Alliance, especially with that Inferno lingering right around the corner as the second map. But as you put it, it has been a statement out of GenOne. The presence of mind as well, those two players in towards Heaven not forcing the issue. Deciding that, you know, they've been re-smoked twice in towards that angle. They can stay there and spam. They can't really risk to run through. Might as well just give it away and run back through CT. Rotations that arrived by the time. Good timing on the block of the smoke as well. Kind of kills the timing of that entire play out of the T's. Now it's a full-on reset. 5-minute rush in towards main.
Yeah, not much to be done with it. They get eviscerated by the util. Finally, one comes through with that Glock, but just a single casualty. No bother at all. No bomb plant allowed. That's what Alliance were looking for. 6 in a row required. GenOne comfortably ready to close out map 1. And we said this was a necessary win for them, given Inferno's history for Alliance. 90% win rate on it. But to look so good It's definitely a huge confidence builder for the Frenchman.
Yeah, both team-wise and individually as well, right? You've got 4 players that have 3 or more multi-kills right now on the side of GenOne. MBK, Chucky, Misuta, and Brooksy. Joko's the only one on a singular, but you can't really feel the void right now. It's just not there. Misuta opening things up once again in towards middle. Mail will try and respond back from Shell, but still has to be careful. He spotted the tip of the head of Misuta there. Still difficult to get into the fight all alone. His teammates have just been blocked once again. He can't do really anything about it.
They want to go back towards A. The AWP is scoped up as well. They do want to regress on this. Maybe try and catch something on the fade of this smoke. Misuta is low.
Ooh.
They'll be punished. And the second player too. Okay. Still have that option to lurk either side. There's an extremity player on each. We'll find this AWP of Chucky if they progress further, but the smokes block everything. Should be pretty straightforward for Alliance. Looks like they don't overcook it, but I think they're going to send Mail searching, and depending on what he finds, the call will come off that.
Yeah, this is still a little bit tricky though, right? If Mail goes down in towards that B bomb side, the bomb's gonna get dropped on middle. Timing on the smoke, not really calculated so much. That timing is very important coming out of MBK, but he's picked up the first. Does he think about the possibility of Mail coming in from behind? Answer is no, but the bomb's still dropped in middle. They have 20 seconds. They need to run quickly.
Yeah, Chucky might just win this round. I can't believe they're going to fumble this.
Heard
Chucky, he hears him jumping, and oh no! That's the way it ends. Chucky, phenomenal work. And GenOne take Ancient 13-6. I can't quite believe that's how it ends. A 2-on-4 with Chucky delivering something special.
It's just very upsetting, isn't it? The way that you just lose the round on the back of one smoke fading away. And don't get me wrong, this was still going to be a very difficult map for them to recover into, right? You're still getting just 7 rounds. Maybe you lose it in the next, maybe in the one after. It was still going to be a very long way back. But the fact that GenOne are able to close it out in that type of a fashion is going to fill them up with even more confidence. And it definitely is the type of a scenario that could get under the skins of Alliance.
Absolutely. Well, that is map 1 wrapped. A must-win for GenOne. Inferno. Map 2, Alliance's home territory, 90% win rate. Can they force us to 3, or will GenOne provide the upset? We'll find out after this.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
A 13-6 statement victory for the side of GenOne on Ancient in map number 1 of this lower bracket semi-final of the ESL Challenger League Season 51 Europe Cup. Ladies and gents, we're getting back to the swing of things as an Inferno is coming up right after a very unfortunate first map for the side of the Alliance, Lucy. Going into that second one, we were kind of painting the picture of this being a heavy punish pick. Are we still that confident that the Alliance should have this map in the bag? Maybe 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 times.
I mean, it should be, but with GenOne playing how well they did on Ancient and Alliance feeling a little bit lost at times, I'm a little concerned for them. We do have a MVP of map 1 that we should take a quick highlight of as well and praise this individual, because I think it was pretty clear that Chucky was that guy. 18 for 7, and obviously that massive final round that closed out Ancient. Yeah, brilliant performance, especially because we kind of came into this series putting that head-to-head on paper, Chucky versus Era. Didn't really have to say Era's name too much, I'll be honest with you, but Chucky was definitely overperforming.
No, a massive discrepancy between the two of them, right? Chucky posting an 18-7, Era staying on 5-15 on that alliance side of things, with the CT side start as well on the op, didn't have a lot of opportunities. Chucky on the other side, I guess you could say he's the first among equals, right? Because it didn't really feel like there was anyone slacking on the side of GenOne in particular individually, but especially with that 4-piece with the op in the last round of Ancient, he was able to step it up in a massive way. And going into Inferno, where they could supposedly start on the CT side as well, if he's able to bring that out early and keep on doing what he was doing on Ancient, then the Alliance might be in a little bit of trouble, because Era, as you pointed out, hasn't really been able to deal with Chucky so far.
Yeah, I think at least on a map like Inferno, the really isn't much for conversation, right? Normally It is kind of the riflers that kind of do the heavy lifting here, so hoping for a bit more. We did see Avid and Mail both having some smooth moments. Avid in particular was kind of the one shining light at times for Alliance that was bringing them some semblance of a chance in some of those rounds. Mail had some moments, but yeah, overall it did feel like a complete outclassing, which is surprising to me. Sure, Ancient hasn't been the best for Alliance, but still an okay map for them. But, you know, we still have Inferno coming up. We still have Melo 9 with that 1.27 average, and this is a map that I think he is going to thrive on.
Yeah, it should be the case, right? You're looking at the since the start of 2026, the maps that he's been able to play when it comes down to an Inferno. When you're looking at someone that's averaging a 128 rating on this map across the 8 maps that they've played, 159 on the CT side as well, right? D side is a little bit more difficult for Meo, considering he's going to be lurking a lot of the time. He's not going to be getting that early exposure, and especially if his teammates are just successful all the time in these fights and towards Banana and middle, then he doesn't really get to do that much. But CT side wise, he's a menace to deal with, and the reason we have him going up against Misuta here is because I still feel like up to this day Misuta is mechanically one of the most gifted players on this Gen 1 team, and I know consistency's never been his strong suit, and he's never been aggressive enough. He's never been that type of a guy to get involved in the fights. That was one of the reasons that Vitality removed him back in the days, if you still remember, right? Because he wasn't taking enough initiative when he was lurking on a lot of these T sides. But I feel like he's gone through a bit of a change. He's now a little bit more active. He recognizes the need, especially on that type of a team, to be much more of a leader inside of the server. So going into a map like Inferno, especially considering the freedom that Misuta gets on both the T and the CT side, I feel like is going to be very, very detrimental for Gen 1 for him to have a good performance. And as you pointed out, the Opers are not as prominent on this map, so you got to be looking at the rifles. You got to be looking at people like Joko, like Brooksy, and like Misuta.
Yeah, I think Masuta is a given to kind of step up here, but you're right, it's the others I'm looking for. I mean, Brooksy was really good on Ancient, so I'm hoping that he comes into this with continuing that form. He obviously had that massive round and he solo won, so I think that was a really great sign. Inferno has been, we kind of mentioned, not the best for Gen 1. You can see it was the perfect pick for Alliance. They've only got the 3 victories of it out of the last 9 that they've played, but there's been a couple of close series in there, right? TDK, that was OT. One win, that was like triple or quadruple OT. Monty, that was OT. So I think it's actually not quite as damning as maybe it looks on paper. But it's that CT half that they've really been struggling on, so they'll be starting there, you imagine. So if they can walk away with the lion's share of rounds in this first half, I think they'll be set to potentially upset here.
Yeah, and it's very interesting conversation to be having about a French team as well, right? You go back, let's say, 1.5 years in time. 3D Max was probably one of the most dangerous Inferno teams in the entire world because of the amount of proactive rounds that they had on the CT side, because of the way that they could go for the push and pull at different parts of the map. They would always reaggress in the middle stages of a round. This is something that Gen 1 are trying to replicate, but it does require a very heavy and very high level of communication and coordination between the players on the team, right? It requires everything to go to plan, everything to go perfectly, which is something that they have been struggling with as of late. But as you pointed out, regardless of going up against a team that's won 8 consecutive Infernos, regardless of the Alliance being the heavy favorite going into that second map, unless we see a massive individual resurgence coming out of the Swedes, Gen 1 could definitely make this one a little bit more of a scrappy game.
I hope so. I don't want to see, after such a great ancient, alliance just coming through and running over them. It would be really cool if GenOne could come through, and I'd love to see them just upset completely. But, at the very least, if they can make it competitive going into Overpass as the decider. We barely touched on that as that deciding map, but we'll see if we have to get there. We have to get through Inferno first. Alliance's bread and butter. Insane win streak on it right now. Can GenOne be the team that upsets them?
That's the big question. It's elimination on the line for the side of Alliance. And early on, Meo was already started it off with a pickings, but Joko's running down middle, able to find one, check you at another, and the crunch is working out. But that's up until Era joins in the party. He does get put down, and Meo is low on HP, regardless of already having found 2 kills. MBK's done the same. Bomb still dropped in towards the ramp. This is GenOne just hitting hard from the very get-go.
Yeah, crazy play to make, getting so aggressive. Era has done a lot to make this an interesting 1v1. What a standoff we've got here. MBK just pausing, hoping that he's going to cross. And, if he hears the bomb being planted on A, he'll know he got the wrong call. Oh my God. What is that timing?
That's insane.
What? He holds that for like 30 seconds. The 2 seconds he steps away, that's when Meo9 crosses.
I think he starts to realize as well. He knows the bomb was dropped in towards T-Ramp, and he knows that Meo was in towards Mexi, but yeah, he's not moving at all. I don't think they would have a defuse kit in such an aggressive round. Probably not. So NBK any moment now is going to realize it, but he's been put in a very difficult one. He needs to run. Switching to the Glock for good measure. Might get a 1v1. Meo's up close.
Oh, Meo. He's going to try and play this right. Doesn't want to overextend his hand, and... Oh, I think he's got this. MBK is flying around the corner. Just needs the one tap. And oh no, he's not landed it. But he has the molly. Picked up onto the bomb. And Meo9 has played this to perfection. The clock's the killer. MBK, he realizes the round's lost. Oh my goodness. Meo9 with the most insane timing to win this round. MBK looking to take him out. And even that's proving to be a little tricky. He will live, but... Everyone falls for Alliance. They'll take the pistol regardless.
The moment that he rewatches that game later on, he sees that specific round and the timing that he missed on Meo. Meo was so low on HP as well. MBK just needed 1 bullet. That's it. And what a big play that is from Era as well. The mid rush, the crunch coming in with Banana. These 2 kills out of Era. This is what keeps them in the round. There's the replay again. Meo just able to catch that timing to perfection. And the Molotov as well, quite key. The one reason he's able to solidify himself as the victor in this 1v1. Enough money for MBK to drop over an M4 to Brooksy though. Force buy incoming.
Yeah, of course, after how close that came, but tricky for MBK. He's going to have a lot of pressure coming his way. Spot them out. But he's hoping that just by showing that forward presence, holding onto his util, it's going to force Alliance into this stack. They are still going to have the better weaponry, but a lot of players to contend with.
The mid-walk is not a bad call, though. They've not been hurt. Brooksy, gotta be careful. Offhand good for the first, and he's able to get out of dodge. This is the M4's position now compromised. Do they still want to commit A?
Looks like it. That was with the bomb drop, too. Oh, this could actually be a real problem. Avid, he's got the chance here. Oh, no, he misses it. Brooksy punishes. That is unbelievable. Felt like that was a freebie. And there's still so many players to deal with. You're just not ready for the sheer quantity. But maybe Era coming through the long side can be that player that unravels it. Upe jumps open over, but Era still holding on. And it's got to be Era for all of these kills. So low and peppered down. They walk into the stack. And the Force Buy finds success.
It's just the perfect call, isn't it? You get all the utility dropped over to MBK towards the B-bomb side. He's just chucking all of that in. The HEs, the smokes, he's just playing to fend them off and towards A. They go for the walk. And it's the first kill that gives it away, right? The fact that this player had the bomb on his back. So you get that kill. You're not starting to get nervous about the potential for a B-rap. You're not thinking about any of that. You're just committed with the 4-man setup. They were just not ready for the sheer amount of numbers that GenOne had. Quite dire to begin with for the side of Alliance. Kind of dismisses that entire pistol round heroic play out of Era, the 1v1 out of Meo. Now they're set back. They have barely any util, just a bunch of Deagles and Tech 9s.
It's a real reversal of fortune, isn't it? Gonna be tricky to get it done with these guns. Jocko does take a little bit of a bullet. They still held plenty of util and cheeky up on the smoke. MBK looks to punish and has to be patient with his bullets, but does find that kill.
He was so committed to getting that kill. Look at him go. He's pushed through the smoke.
Cheeky. The bomb is actually in second mid.
Yeah.
A little bit weird now. Okay, Brooksy tucked in and okay, he gets dinked and dealt with. Bomb will get picked up, but MBK, he might just catch it. He's seen it. Oh, that information goes both ways. MBK thought he was being cheeky, but he's the one that gets caught. And now the round is very strange. Oofy said headshot. They want to come back here. 30 seconds. It has to be the A finish. Rotation coming. And Masuda under so much pressure. Incendiary dropped. They can't force their way through this. But Jocko's not rotating. Masuda's left alone.
Oh, no.
Why didn't he come to help?
That's a little bit of a noof. Did Jocko think that there might be a player in towards CT spawn? Did he think that there's just going to be one guy in apps and they're going to pivot back towards the B-bomb side? Yeah, that's a little bit weird. You're right. He was just so far away. The moment that Misuta spots the player, he deploys the molly. They know the bomb was second middle.
There's only 20-odd seconds left. I can't believe there's that second guessing. Even if it is B, Jocko is half HP and he has to go deal with 2 players. Surely it makes more sense to group up on A.
Yeah, it's a bit of a blunder. It's very bizarre.
And that's not even the worst fault of that round, really, when you kind of look back at how it played out. I mean, MBK getting spotted, that was a bit of a disaster. Just a series of unfortunate events.
I don't know about you. I'm loving the start of this map already. We get what? The Alliance winning the pistol round, then GenOne calling a 4-man stack on A and picking up the force, and now they themselves lose the force by in which they had, what, a 4 versus 3 advantage? Opening kill comes in. MBK it's actually a 5v3 even at one point. The kill out of the apartments as well, the 1 deeks. It's a little bit tough on the CT side. They still have enough money to go for a reinvestment with the double MP9, double FAMAS singular AK in the hands of Joko.
Still competitive. Your test on B this time. MBK eats a whole lot of util. Oh, Ube's also caught Masuda on the leg. This is now a little bit weird. They wanted to commit to B, but they found an A kill. Does that send them back the other way?
It's dangerous. UP needs to be careful. There's a second player in towards the apartments. It's all a question of timing. Does Brooksy go for the peek? Nope. Got looking the wrong way. And this is UP just doing all the damage right now. Do they still really want to commit B? After all these kills, Chucky's rotating back in. They're doing it.
All right, well, buddies are going to be here, but they don't really have a lot to deal with it. That smoke actually on the T side is causing some concern, but Choco wants to play around it. Spray can't get to. Malo 9 delivering the frags, and then Chucky falls in CT. Great job on that lurk from Upe as well, finding 2 players, and sure, they commit into what is a stacked bomb site, but Malo 9 mops them up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky one, considering you're going into a stack, but they're able to deal with it pretty nicely. I like the little touch on, you know, just disrespecting the side smoke. Swinging in towards Spoo, climbing on top of first oranges, making it very difficult for the CTs to isolate these fights and actually find a favorable one. And there's the Force by War roller coaster coming to an end. Unfortunately, when you lose this and you're on the CT side, you lose a whole lot more than the T's would have. And now you're just fully reset. 5 USPs, gonna stack in towards the pool. Avid should spot it out any moment now. Yep, that's information gathered. Gotta run. Or stay and fight.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Careful. Okay.
Alright.
It's fine. Upe is nowhere nearby to grab the AK, so that's a little annoying, but it's fine. 4-1, they get into the lead. win out that force by war, and, well, this is what you kind of come to expect from Alliance on this map.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the guy to say it, but Era's already matched his kills from the first map in 5 rounds. So this is a good sign. He's already sitting on 5 kills, and he's someone that I've always liked, by the way, as an oper. I thought even back in the days when he was on that Gamer Legion team, that was the first one that was actually coached by Ash. This is how long ago we're talking. Played with Rusty, Isaac. That was a thing. When Rusty being on Gamer Legion was actually, you know, something that we were all used to. I felt like ever since Gamer Legion, Era never got the opportunity to actually stay on a solid project for a longer period of time, right? He kind of went in and out of different teams. He was on the Young Ninjas for a little while, then Godsend, then Project G, then Copenhagen Wolves, but he's been on the Alliance ever since the start of 2025. And I feel like this is where he thrives, right? You let him just get accustomed to a team, get used to the teammates, to the system, feel like you have a little bit of security, and then you can start actually evolving and becoming better and better as a player.
Oh, that's a player spotted. Bursting around. Chucky needs to hold on. Great job. Can't quite get the second. Actually hits that first bullet, and MBK... That's not quite the play to be making. Will be punished, but at least there is that kill coming through. Masuta, good for 1. Brooksy still being a nuisance as well. And ahead of the flames, can't convert the spray. Upe holds on. And Jocko into the 1-on-2. Arrives at library. Bomb still not down. Needs to be scooped up from the pit, but will be done and planted default.
That's a good cross. He's used the bomb plant to make his way in towards the cup. Upe's not seen him yet. There goes the peek. Instant headshot onto the first. Where is Era coming from, though? You know this is the player that got the kill in towards the ramp, and Era's caught a perfect timing. Joko's not seen him, but the bomb's not planted for him.
Era. Okay, he sees it, taps, and dealt with. Could have got a little spicy there, especially with it not planted for him, but Era catches him on that little crawl fall, takes that second to find the headshot, and Alliance 5-1 up. GenOne not able to find any success. They definitely had a chance in that with Brooksy's contributions, but a little questionable from MBK.
Yeah, this is something that they were doing a whole lot more on Ancient as well, right? Just pushing the smokes, finding some timings, catching them off guard, but you can clearly tell that the Alliance are much more comfortable countering that type of play on a map like Inferno. They're just ready for it. Especially when MBK has already done it a bunch of times, and we're just, what, 6 rounds deep? He's already pushed through that smoke twice. I like the fact that MBK is still playing with a little bit of attitude, though.
That's true. Never let them know your next move, even if it's a silly move.
Hell yeah. As Apex said, if all of you are committed, even if it's the worst call ever, it could still work. Ride or die.
Great nade.
More often die with these types of plays, but
That's
still
true.
valid.
That was a 92 pointer. Well, I'm not expecting a lot here from this defense on B with 1 player at 8 HP. MBK though with the 5-7 in armor. Oh, he's mollied off as well. Perfect counterplay to where players might be close, but MBK still finds that frag. Jocko fits a headshot despite it all. Avid has to go for a crazy transfer just to make sure he doesn't go down. And suddenly this round gets a whole lot more interesting. But Melee 9 is going to scamper back. He's got all the contact coming. Ooh. If he goes wanting, there's suddenly a way in, but he'll clean up too. I think he's done enough.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sticky situation as well for Male, right? He would have preferred to go in towards the top of Banana and towards the car, because he did hear them running down middle, but he simply had no timing to do so. So he was stuck in that close range fight. Good awareness to be the one that actually initiates the fight there, rather than to just stay and pray that he doesn't get cleared out. Kind of forces Misuta to go for the save. 2.5 kills. 6 rounds already on that T side. It's been a very rapid T side as well out of the Alliance, but looking much better in comparison to map 1. Exactly what you wanted to see. Misuta should be safe.
Ooh, that was actually a little dicey, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was a little bit too sure of myself when I said he should be safe. He does survive, though.
NT here. I'll be real with you. If that nade hadn't hit Shocker in CT for 98 damage, or whatever, 92 damage, whatever it was, I actually think that he gets that second kill there, and maybe it's a completely different round. So we'll see. We've got the guns back out. Remember, their T side is a lot stronger on GenOne, so looking to just find something to work with, and
he actually fell. The fact that he falls from the boost saves his life. This is mental. MBK still trying to challenge in towards top bananas. Gonna get forced buyback the Uto. But Mayo has picked it up in towards middle. Brooksy's out of the equation. Oper posted. They're just going down like flies.
Oh, yeah. Just getting extinguished, aren't they? Duels across the map being taken by Alliance, and each one won successfully. They're almost taking both bomb sites with how things are going. A little blip to get things going at the start, but it feels like Alliance have just kicked up a gear, and yeah, they're really flexing their expertise on this T side. And now just going to try and hunt.
This is what we wanted to see as well out of the Alliance, right? It wouldn't have felt right if one of the best playing teams right now in Tier 2 Counter-Strike just comes into that type of an important game and gets absolutely destroyed by the side of GenOne. Speaking of GenOne though, nice shot out of Misuta, but he's gonna get hunted. Good effort for the second. Unfortunately, it won't really be possible to run away with these guns. They just got executed upon on that A bomb side trying to save. 5 people entering. They lose only 2 and they get the kills. That's exactly what they were after. But yeah, the Alliance, not a lot of teams right now on this level of competition have 7 consecutive wins in best of 3s and 5 in a row without dropping a map. Now GenOne were able to put an end to one of these streaks. That was the not dropping a map part. But Alliance are there to fight. And we were talking about the veto. Enshin was the opportunity. Inferno was always supposed to be a sure thing, and Overpass is going to be very interesting if we get there. And as of right now, it kind of feels like we will.
Yeah, certainly Alliance making a good case for it, and even against this half buy, not afraid to take these fights. Chris B250 is playing a very dangerous game, and he'll just be punished. The spam lets Aaron know just about where he is. Quick cleanup of these B defenders. Now it should just be a matter of time to walk this one in for Alliance.
How clean can you make it though? Is the only question. Haven't been having any issues with getting those opening kills. Brooksy's waiting for the right timing. They're gonna try and crunch middle. Mayo is alone, and that's a nice shot out of the 5-7. A complete drive-by. Could get another one. That's a good follow-up out of Misuta. The issue is they have lost the bomb side, and now they've lost a little bit of HP as well onto Brooksy. Felt like that was going to be a clean connection out of Era.
Actually surprised he even hit that leg. That was a tricky shot. Operation save these AKs. 8-1.
Still remember it.
This is crazy. Like, I mean, we know kind of looking at the history that we expect the win here, but this is insanely dominant so far.
Yeah, especially after just talking about the fact that GenOne, albeit losing a lot of games on Inferno, they were competitive, right? They were getting close. And I guess that comes to the argument as well about their CT side struggles, because these sides have not looked that bad at all, but on the defense, it's been very difficult for these guys to find some level of comfortability. There's a whole lot of conversations to be had about why that is. Maybe because of forcing the issue a little bit too much in some of these fights. Maybe unfortunate starts, I guess, financially. That was the case here where they do drop the pistol. They win the force buy, but then again, they lose against the force themselves. And that just sets them up very badly for the entirety of the half.
Yeah, I mean, there is that caveat, right? Like, you're 4-1 down just to get things started, so that doesn't help things. But even in these kind of rounds since, right, the gun rounds haven't felt particularly close. In fact, I think the closest round since then was like 5-7 Steagles when it was that B site hit, and you know, there was a chance there. But for the most part, this has not been a particularly challenging half for Alliance.
You know what I'm wishing for? I'm wishing for at least a close third map at this point, because what we're seeing on Inferno is quite reminiscent of what we did see on Ancient. Maybe a little bit even more dominant than what map 1 was, but in reality, we did see a 13-6 coming out of GenOne on their own map pick. This one could be even more apocalyptic for the side of GenOne to deal with on Inferno. The good old classic would be they just exchange map picks like this, and we go into a close third and final map.
That would be the classic, but I feel like if Alliance walk away with a domination here, it doesn't bode well into the third map. That's a nice opener though. Masuta holding for that boost up. Gets a nice opening frag. Challenge now comes on B. Chucky though on the line with the AWP. Error gets onto the CT angle, and Masuta's found another. Looking good, Chucky. Strikes through with his AWP, and we are looking like that second round's coming. Although Chucky gets caught, but MBK, he's holding on fine, and the support comes through. So 2 now picked up for GenOne.
Yeah, apparently this is what you needed, right? A way to spice things up a little bit. Disturb that default out of the T side. Go for that aggressive play in towards the apartments. Misuta's able to get away with a massive double kill. Force them into a B play where the AWP was lying in wait. Chucky able to collect the first one. A very difficult angle to deal with in towards the stairs on the bomb site. There's the replay again on that kill onto the player trying to get up on the boost. And they win a round with 4 alive. This is good. This is the step that they needed in the right direction. At this point, though, I'm afraid anything less than 4 rounds would leave you in a very difficult spot. But you get 4, and maybe there is something to be said about that second half being a little bit more competitive.
Chucky again. Going to be challenged out towards long. He's seen that little jiggle and he's ready for the swing. Beautiful from the AWP. Hello 9 fails his little flash. And now I think he might be a little bit late. Errors wise to what MBK gets up to, but I don't think he'll overextend.
MBK is just crazy, man. I'm loving this so much. Whenever there's a smoke, there's utility. He's gonna go for it. Even gets the kill. Arrow just mollied him out, but he didn't really anticipate him to be there. Kind of ignored it for a second. Allowed MBK to swing and get the kill.
Interestingly, in this 4-on-3, there's no one at B right now. Melee9 is starting to take that space. Jocko will get there just about in time, but it's all a bit of a ruse. And Avid now reveals himself and the bomb. Melee9 gets the kill. They can just run back towards B.
Yep. It's fully empty and they know it. All pursuing towards the A-bomb side. Misuta goes down as well. This round has just collapsed right in front of them. Right in front of their very eyes. That was a great opportunity for GenOne to get a third. Potentially even go for 4. And then on the back of winning a pistol, make this one a competitive affair. But now it's been all reset. Snatched away. 9 rounds on the T side. I don't care who you are going into that second half. I don't care how good of a T side you have. This is not going to be an easy way back, especially considering there's a good chance they might even get double digits. Still enough money on the CT side for reinvestment in the next, especially if Chucky's able to survive, but they might try and get that AWP out of his hands.
No reason not to. I mean, actually, maybe there is some reason. The finances aren't that good, so...
Yeah.
And in fact, even if Chucky loses this, they can get another one. So, take a player, that would be nice, but he won't. I think what we're really seeing here is Alliance just flexing their kind of mid-round ability on this map, and
yeah,
if the T-side can just find these picks, it just crumbles the defenders so heavily.
It's a bit weird though, right? Because you see them having a 3-man setup in towards the A-bomb side. They could have potentially re-cleared brackets together if they really wanted to, GenOne. But you're seeing a lot of these individuals just going on solo missions. And when it works, again, it looks decent. But when it doesn't, it's just providing the Alliance with unnecessary opportunities to get back into the round. And as you said, it kind of just looks like they're flexing their mid-round ability because it feels like they can just turn every single situation around.
MBK does kind of fumble it there as well, going down. Sure, he takes one, but it's that big opening. Good damage.
A good nade. Yeah.
Choco. We'll see Twist standing ahead of it. He's stuck. Nice swing, but still finds the kill. Don't know how Twist managed that. This nade. Avid avoids it, but Era doesn't. Now blocked by the smoke. Decent position. Oh, the break on it. Jocko was going to be revealed, but he manages to get around that corner. Avid just wants to swing, and he does it with such little HP, but it works anyway.
He knew he had the timing. Heard the player trying to panic and run in towards CT spawn, and UP still in towards short. He's never moved around more than in the last couple of ones. Chucky's just missing. Jumping, throwing nades, going for the peaks. Mail is absolutely awful to deal with, and this is going to be 10 rounds at halftime. The Alliance with a statement and a half on Inferno. They want to take us to a third map.
Well, a reversal of fortunes, but perhaps an expected one, coming into Alliance's map pick of Inferno, looking to extend their phenomenal streak on it. GenOne definitely had an opportunity to end up with a stronger half, but that reset early, really painful for them.
Yeah, there was a couple opportunities, right? Maybe 1 or 2 rounds, one in towards the start with the anti-force buy, and then another one just a couple rounds ago where they could have opted to get 4, but it is just the 2 in the end. So as of right now, it's a very precarious situation for them. They find themselves in the spot where they could say, well, we win this pistol round, we could get a couple rounds before we lose, but if we lose it, well, then it's on to Overpass.
You're not ready for that angle, are you? But quick trade, actually, from Jocko. Rotations on their way, and, well, spotted out in towards middle. Melo 9 removes MBK. Now they know exactly what's going on. Player advantage, smoke lands in Moto. Bombs to be planted safely. They're worried about this quick short play, and rightfully so. A lot of damage inflicted onto these CTs, though. And the Glock sold. The flashbang blinds everybody. Ts and CTs included, and Avid still fragging. How are these players still alive? All limping, but it doesn't matter. The bodies stand, and the pistol goes to Alliance.
Just try to imagine the amount of GenOne players that upon going down were saying one of them is 1 HP. This guy's 1 HP. This guy's 1 HP. The other guy is goosed up. This guy is around 50. This guy's low. And all of them are just surviving. Everyone gets tagged down. No one gets killed on the side of the Alliance. It's absolutely crazy for GenOne.
That flashbang had actually not affected all 3 Ts. I think that's completely different.
Yeah, that was complete carnage as well, right? It's just a moment of miscom, I guess, to some extent. Because the flash comes in, but you're over eager to peek. You think he's going to pop up and not blind you for whatever reason. And then all 6 people at some point in tour short were just spamming bullets blindly. Kind of looked like one of my put games. Without the blind part, you know. Just the spam and no one hitting no one.
Well, GenOne 1 to 4. So obviously got the bomb down, but yeah, putting all the cards onto the table. Also, don't want to let 12 come through. But a decent setup here from Melee 9. Upe also jiggling to take that first contact with the MP7. You got to whiff for something there. Drop that defensive smoke, and they're going to be ready for it. Molly will upset Mail. Still have Error out towards long. He's found a kill, and he's almost ready for that second player, but runs out of bullets. Upe gets one, but not quite the follow-through. Brooksy somehow still alive, and Alliance don't want to give this a look in.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy on some of these individual fights, right? The long player probably should have been able to get the kill a little bit more cleanly, especially when you had that hidden asterisk in towards them beneath the balcony in the form of an MP9, but that's just good for 1 kill. Mail falls down without anything. It's a good resurgence coming out of GenOne. And again, they lose the pistol, but they win the force buy. Now, in the first half, they were unable to convert on the back of doing that. They get another opportunity to at least make this game a little bit closer. We were praising them for the fact that their T-sides on Inferno, bar the troublesome record on the map, have not actually been that lackluster. Thing is, you might lose everyone. Well, never mind. Misut's is going to be able to pick that one up. Twist still in a good spot. Finds one. Looking for one more, maybe. Oh, knife out. Ill-advised. Wasn't ready for MBK, so he will eventually bite the dust. Not enough money for the Alliance for basically anything. So, force buy coming up. They won't have a single rifle. All right, Lucy, I'm going to hit you with the $1 million question. How many rounds can GenOne win on that T side? What are we thinking?
I'm going to say 4.
All right.
Well, actually, I mean, if they lose this one, they're not getting any. But
yeah.
If they win, actually, no, 5. Sorry.
You know what?
Didn't factor the current round.
I'll be a little bit more optimistic than you. I'll say they can make it up to 7 or 8. And if they make it up to 7 or 8, I believe that they can bring this one back. I know it's a very you know, optimistic way of thinking for the Frenchman. But hey, T-side French Counter-Strike on Inferno. Sometimes it could hit real good.
Well, right now the threat is here on A, where a lot of players are. Flashbang. Oh, exceptional counterplay. Masuta, he's overwhelmed as well. Oh, I don't know about your prediction, Ted.
Never mind. I was just kidding. You know, joking around. That's a very bad way to start off the round. Brooksy and Misuta just get obliterated in towards the apartments, and you still have a bit of an opportunity, right? At least you have the rifles, you have the E2, you can group up, execute onto that B bomb site. They could still make this one work. Bail themselves out of trouble. One player in towards the back of triple, another one boosted, one more playing towards CT spawn. That's going to be Aaron Adigo. Can they power through GenOne?
Bruce is a pretty call at this moment, especially Era's going to fire up shots, make it seem like no one could be up here. If Melee 9 can get one from this position, it'll feel like a success. And Twist looking for a headshot, can't connect it, and well, okay, the superior weaponry does overwhelm. A boosted player gets nothing. Jocko on 4 HP, MBK also pretty worse for wear. They will secure that 4th round.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's very difficult to hold on to a proper B execute or against a proper B execute when you just have the pistols, right? Even if you have the player on the boost. You just get molly towards first oranges, and that was the Molotov that catches both first and second oranges. Another molly in towards the back of triple. Smokes in towards CT spawn and ruins. Another Molotov behind the ruin smoke to make sure no one's gonna just jump out on a timing or with a flash. So, GenOne bailing themselves out of trouble. Now they've picked up 4. Gotta be careful about the exits, though.
They might actually lose everything now.
Yeah.
Oh, Chucky. Could be allowed to live, and that's an M4 picked up, and oh, Avid only overextends. If they hold 2 rifles here, I think that would have been definitely the call to full invest, but I think holding on to just the one probably changes things. Upe, if he doesn't invest too much, can drop an AWP next round. Well, the start of this round, that GenOne make the perfect counter call in that position. So yeah, it is just going to be this one rifle to get it done.
Yeah, banana smoke coming in, courtesy of Mayo. Interesting to see how they will want to use that M4. UP started in towards short with it. Eventually, he's going to have to try and take a bit of a chance, or they just go a stack around him, and then if the T's go towards the other bomb side, you hold on. There's the opportunity. Kill confirmed. A lot of damage received, but he's able to get out of there. Well, never mind. He's going to get chased down. M4 out of position to get picked up. This is what Arrow was trying to do, looking at the ground. Not provided with an opportunity to do so. And unfortunately for the side of the Alliance, from here on out, it should be easy pickings for the side of GenOne. So this is 5 rounds now on the board, Lucy. Slowly but surely, at least making it a little bit more respectful of a performance.
Yeah, unfortunately, Upe just took a bit too much damage getting that kill. Also, none of his teammates kind of had armor to juggle of it. Crazy that Chucky's just sitting there with the bomb, just waiting for this player to prowl. You're right, that's 5. That's where I said they get to.
Sure.
Means I've got confidence now in this Alliance gun round.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have any confidence after that 3 versus 5. I was so sure my prediction was going out the window, but hey, they're still keeping it going. First buy round coming up. Air is gonna bring that big green out. They've got the famous on twist as well. Utility not looking too bad. Correct me if I'm wrong, not a single defuse kit on the CT side, so this could be a little bit problematic.
Big fight.
Or
Avid,
not.
even blind, gets the kill on MBK, jumping through the flames. He didn't really have anywhere to go. Jocko trying to stick around, and we'll avoid that next volley of util. The opening pick already secured. Response looks to be to move back in towards A, towards the apartments. Avid's going to re-clear this. Error still in the line with that AWP, and gets the kill. Does come at a cost of blood, but a price he's probably willing to pay.
Yeah, low on HP with the big green doesn't change too much, and they've retaken top banana in the meantime, by the way. So Mail's rotated and made his way back in towards the A-bomb side. UP spotted him. He doesn't have a lot of util to delay, but he's got the support of the Oper, who's been spotted now. This could still get a little bit tricky. Era still hitting the shots, though. He's gonna make it a triple. Looking for another one, and Era's just turned this one into a highlight. It's a 4-piece coming out of the Ope. 12 rounds on the board. Alliance ready to send us over to an overpass.
That's lovely from Arrow, right? That's 3 kills in that situation where they're scaling onto the site where he's got 7 HP and he's just taking all these fights. Not afraid of it though, has all that support alongside him. Exceptional work to get onto map point. Alliance with 7 chances now to force us to overpass. Did say this felt inevitable given the pool. There's definitely no questions to be asked of this Inferno from Alliance.
Yeah, unfortunately it's been one-way traffic and one-way traffic only. Maybe we had our hopes up after that Ancient. I don't know about you, but my hopes have been humbled. The Alliance come today to play, and they do want to do one better. A 13-5 would be a massive response. That's exactly what they're after. Opening kill already secured, going in towards that era. Looked very good in the previous one. Gonna go for another. He even lands the tag onto the second player. They're just getting mowed down.
It's looking done, isn't it? Yep. Panic run out from Long, and Era cleans house. What a CT hub from Era. Avid as well. The whole squad stepping up in spades. Alliance with a statement Inferno victory. 13-5. So another one to add to their already extended tally of map wins on it. What's that now? 10 in a row? Thereabouts. Only 1 loss at all in their last 11 games. It's phenomenal how good they are on this map.
Absolutely is. Probably one of the best Inferno teams out there in the tier 2 space right now. But moving forward, it won't be an Inferno, but it will be an Overpass, deciding which one of these two teams will keep on fighting in the lower bracket of the ESL Challenger League Season 51 Cup 1. Ladies and gents, we're throwing this one into a quick break. And when we're back, we're going to kick things off with the final map of the series and final map of tonight, Overpass.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. But you know,
Well, blowouts both ways. Alliance do take Inferno. We did expect that, but it was an exceptional performance, 13-5, especially after losing Ancient 13-6, which means we now go to our decider of Overpass.
Yeah, it's one final map to decide it. One of these teams is going to be going out of the event. The other one will keep on fighting, keep on going through the lower bracket. It's been a remarkable lower bracket run out of the Alliance already. In Cup 1 of the ESL Challenger League Season 51. We already kind of touched upon that earlier today, but they were sent down there pretty early, then got a win over Unity in a 2-1 fashion, 2-0 over the Rebels, 2-0 over Johnny Speeds, an FF win over the side of X-Ruby, which was a bit of a moment of fate, I guess, smiling towards the direction of the Alliance, but they've been playing some good old Counter-Strike. For GenOne, this is the first elimination game they've played, and so far, I don't want to say it has been going great. Map 1 was fantastic. Map 2, not quite.
No, not at all. And a big part of that was our MVP. And what I love about this is that we kind of talked a lot about on Map 1 how Chucky kind of was dominating. Era completely absent. 5 kills on Ancient. Well, he certainly turned it around for Inferno.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Inferno is not usually a map that's very AWP heavy, but there's a selective few AWPers out there that know how to make it work on the CT side. And Era had a couple very good moments with the AWP on the CT side and towards that A-bomb side. That highlight where on 7 HP he's able to find 3 more kills, get a quad kill in the round in total. He's that type of an AWPer that can take over the server. And I feel like so far, Lucy, we've been, I guess, accustomed to expecting a good performance out of at least one of these AWPers. Well, now we're going towards one of the maps that has always been pretty famous with giving a lot of opportunities to AWPers, right? Overpass is not quite the AWPer's paradise, that's Dust 2, but I'd say that Overpass is still equally, if not even more, AWP reliant, especially when we're talking about that CT side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very critical. That was actually Era's, that first map was Era's worst map of the year so far, that 0.49 rating. So he's bounced it back with his 3rd best of the year on Inferno. So very much a roller coaster ride for Era. We'll see which version arrives here. I imagine he's ramped up from that map. I think there's going to be a lot going into this knife round to decide the sides here, just given kind of how that map just played out. I think GenOne, they need every advantage they can get going into this. Both these teams, similar amount of reps on it lately, but I think there's definitely a much bigger disparity when it comes to the T sides. It's definitely an area where GenOne have been struggling.
Yeah, they really have been, right? And it's the fact that, again, they've been losing some close maps. There's a couple 9-13s, 11-13s to teams like VP Prodigy and Whitebird, but there was a 5-13 and a 6-13 loss to first Algo and then AM quite recently as well. And then you're looking at the fact that for Alliance, this is yet another map on which they're in a win streak, right? 4 in a row, Los Cogutos, Metasport, Unity, Phantom, a couple close ones in there, but at least the last 2 that have been played most recently, Los Cogutos and Metasport, a 13-3 and a 13-8. And as you pointed out, a very leveled up good performance on both sides, the T and the CT side. So it doesn't really feel like it's too big of a factor for these guys. I'm going to take a look at the knife round, and we get a 1v1 between Era and MBK.
MBK, knife out. Era, also knife out. Now, MBK is a deft hand with a knife. I can think of some famous clips involving him with a knife, but not going to win out this one. Era will come through with 3 knife kills in the pistol. So continuing his dominance from map, well, not pistol, in the knife round. So good stuff.
We're still
to
counting
get the CT
these.
side.
Yeah, we're still counting these, you know? He just wanted to show us what he can do on the CT side with the open hand, and so he was like, well, I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to win as the knife round, so I make sure I have that op as early as possible.
Yeah. If only it gave you money, that would be
Yeah,
crazy.
imagine.
Your starting money depends how well you did. Everyone would bait so hard. That would be horrible. That'd be the worst possible thing you could see.
People would start having strats for the knife rounds. There's a couple that exist.
People do.
Even now.
I hate knife rounds on face. It's on some people will just run around and just be such a time-wasting nuisance.
Sure.
So cringe when it's like a 3-on-1 and they're just like running away, trying to like be cheeky and. Ugh.
I agree, it's cringe. Also, sometimes I am people.
Yeah. Ted is cringe. You heard it here first. Halo 9 has been in this elongated 1v1 with Brooksy, but We can see the real challengers coming here on B. Upe up close with Dorberettas, and all the flashbang doesn't quite actually help him. It's a T-flash, of course, but yeah, the twist flash doesn't really do the job back the other way. Still a messy fight on this site, and Malo 9 and Twist come through with a couple of bangers. Malo 9 arrives at the right time, completely forgets about Brooksy, lets that guy do his own thing, reinforces the bomb site.
They're both walking back. They're just going to come in from behind. He's going to be so oblivious to what's going on. Silent drop down heaven, so they haven't heard it, but Meo seems to be aware of the possibility. That should be a free kill.
You imagine someone, there comes the spot and there comes the kill. So Malo 9 and Twist get a double apiece. That looked good to begin with for GenOne, especially removing Upe up close. But yeah, the reinforcements rock solid.
Yeah, this is a massive start to the map as well. Look at that. Flash a little bit late for the CTs to try and peek in towards Monster. It felt like things were working out for GenOne on the back of that opener. The fact that there was one player that was already so far out. They are able to fight back, and Meo's performance on this map is going to be particularly interesting. Not only the Opers, but the A rifle on the side of the Alliance. Highest rated Overpass player on the server in the last couple of months. 136 over the course of 10 maps he's played. It is a mental type of statistic. And just for reference, highest rated GenOne player is Brooksy on 114.
This is interesting. No one's actually watching long. There'll be an internal timer, of course, where Alliance will send someone back to have a look at this. It might not matter anyway. They're just going to walk through the bathrooms. Thought they could have maybe just gone long and planted the bomb. And in fact, they actually probably could have. The timing was there for it. But I don't think this little pop now out the bathrooms is kind of that powerful. And no, error comes up and makes sure that no further damage.
I love the way that Meo actually hides and lets the MP9s farm the cash, right? Lets them get the kills. Error's going to have enough money to get himself on the nope now because of that triple kill. It's a good moment of realization for Meo. He's like, well, I've picked up my multi-kill. I can just relax for a little bit. Let my teammates get a little bit of money. We're going to get to see that MP7 that we were talking about on Engine in action in the hands of UP. I believe this is the first time, actually, all series long. Is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Malo 9. Oh, the wall bang. That is not one you see very often.
That's
off
nasty.
The jump peak, too.
It's absolutely nasty. And look at Era. He's been spotted out. Decides to stay. This is a very ballsy decision out of Era. Should cost him his life. How is he not dead? How does Joko not kill him quicker?
Jump peak as well from a position you're just not pre-aiming. Such a nuisance with that MP9. Era gets away with murder, and MBK tries to kill someone of his own. He's natural born at it, but well, not quite feeling a natural in that moment. Bomb is actually floating with Chucky over at A right now, but I think he's going to go down to join up with them. A bit ahead of the util here, but the flashbang. Oh, actually, great kills come through. MBK and Brooksy, a killer piece. Avid still here. A lot of damage was inflicted earlier. Keep that in mind. Malo 9 kept at bay. Oh, the nade. Exceptional work. MVK gets punished, and still Avid. Completely unknown. He can deny the bomb, and he will. Leaves it now onto Brooksy. Takes another head. Knows he has Avid close by. Can't quite see him, but confirmation as the MP9 fires off, and in heaven, Malo 9 picks up the AWP.
A 6-0 start, and that was a good recovery coming out of GenOne, but in reality, it probably should have been a much more competitive round. A couple mishaps. Meo opening things up with a lovely pickup in towards Connector as well. The jump spot just to make sure that players are coming out short. The wall bang to follow to get that free kill. Era, I have no clue how he was given the time to actually find his vision back and get that kill in towards long on to Joko. This is one that definitely the X3D Max man regrets. Meo, yet to go down, 6-0. Another half buy coming out of the T side as well. No bomb plant equals no money, equals no party.
There was a small chance there, and a second as well. Era not quite able to connect against the scout, but the scout doesn't connect against him anyway. So it's a very windy moment towards the front bathrooms.
Ooh.
Oh, Jocko, there we go. Deagle talked about it, and he finds 2 with it. Gonna have to be on Era to step in off the back of that. He's gonna go ahead of the lurk smoke. Cheeky play, but will he be rewarded? Oh, jump peek, Jocko. Teases another Deagle shot, but he just wants to scoop up that weapon.
Yeah, he wanted to stop them from picking up the M4, right? He was hoping to get a fair fight, someone maybe overextending a little bit, but Joko's still nearby. He can hear her jumping on the bomb site.
Well, this has caused a big split in the defense, especially Jocko just being a nuisance out towards long. Twist will have his number, you imagine, in a moment. Yeah, lovely line. It's going to cause this rotation of Era. Oh,
what
again,
a nade.
another nade. A lot of damage inflicted with these HEs. MBK hits the scout headshot. Looking for a second, and he's found it. Unbelievable. And a twist into the clutch, and the nade does good. The bullet's great as well, and he will convert it. All those amazing scout shots for nothing.
This is still a good round out of the T side, though, right? Considering the amount of investment, the amount of, I guess, weapons and utility that they had bringing into this one. You still get 4 kills in a bomb plant. It's still a little bit disappointing because you probably felt like you could have converted in a 2v1. A lovely sequence coming out of MBK on the scout, trying to make a statement, but the Alliance are just running away with these rounds right now. And a lot of them have been getting close, right? The Alliance is 4-0 up. You're going to take a look at the money. It's not really fantastic. Take a look at that from Joko once again. These sequences individually, GenOne, they will try and give a little bit more of a fight here on the T side. And as we said, expensive rounds, close ones. Alliance is 4-0 up, and they still don't have another full buy in the bank. No security. That's a great opportunity for GenOne to finally enter Overpass here in round number 5.
I can't believe the nade damage inflicted there. Like, just multiple ones. Even that final 1v2, that's a HE that softens up the final player on the bomb plant. Really great utilization of the HE grenades. And boost up for Avid. Oh, gets undone. Brucey actually ready for it.
Yeah, felt like he should have been able to get the kill. Nice flash coming out of MBK to disturb the CT on top of the bomb site. Just a little bit. Damage still done onto both Chucky and Brooksy. And you've lost control and presence in towards short, in towards connector, in towards middle. You need to make a stack, but you need it to be an active one. Reaggressing in towards short feels like a necessity right now from the side of the Alliance. And there's the double kill. Another nade kill in the meantime as well. That comes in towards the A-bomb side from Era. He was trying to break the smoke, and he just got a kill with it.
Oh, punish though. Trying to get a bit too aggro, and Chucky holding as that player close was doing damage. Jocko also catches up melee 9. Twist will get a kill back, but a lot of pressure coming his way. 2 players barreling. Good reposition. Will they be ready for him to move here? The jiggle will confirm it. MBK leaving no stone unturned, but Upe, oh! Exceptional crosshair placement.
So many clutches, so many situations that are just going in favor of the Alliance. This is heartbreaking for GenOne. You ask him, honestly, they probably feel like they should have been able to pick up 2 or 3 rounds by now. A 1 versus 2 in the previous one out of Twist. Now you see another 1v2. All of these rounds, they get the opportunities. They put themselves in winnable scenarios, but there's always someone on the side of the Alliance to bail them out. And this time it was UP. First 2 kills of the map as well for him. What a moment.
Back-to-back 1v2s. That's got to really sting for GenOne. Going to the tactical timeout, not able to break through, even though there's been these opportunities that feel so tantalizingly close. Heartbreaking, really.
Been such a quick map of Counter-Strike as well, right? It
For
feels like
Overpass,
GenOne, they're just
especially.
running. Yeah. Especially for a map like Overpass, you're spot on. It's usually a map that's a little bit slower, default-y, you take a little bit more time working around the map. No, GenOne have just been running at them in Alliance. They've been pretty, happy with complying to those conditions. Running right back.
Oh, what a pick from Era. That's an exceptional one to find. All blown so that he could take that peek through and catch a player progressing quickly. Male09 just makes sure no one's here, and he'll take this empty space and slide out, and doesn't quite catch Masuta. So kill goes back the other way, kind of gifted over.
Yeah, UP's still looking for that fight, but Twist, in the meantime, will find MBK towards Monster. They're calling them back in towards the B-bomb side. That's so much information that UP's gotten, but issue is, Twist is still alone. He needs a little bit of help.
He's actually going to progress forward towards Monster. Smoked off right now, so feeling like he's got some safety here. Vision will come, and Twist reveals himself. But Avid should be able to set up a powerful crossfire for this. As soon as this contact comes, always a bit late on the line. So Twist does get sold out, and Avid, the only one here to defend this bomb site,
they don't know.
Managed to get into pool. Now he adopts another great angle. Can't quite get both. Jocko in the one-on-one. They need this clutch.
Look at the Yuto on arrow, by the way. The moment that this bomb gets tapped, there's going to be a Molotov and a nade flying towards the back of the bomb site. Or at least you think. Not yet. Nope.
Uh-oh.
Molled himself.
Alright, Mickey Mouse sequence over. It's into the real 1v1, and Era hits Jocko on the jump up. Oh my god, the wound has been opened and an entire punnet of salt has been poured in, round after round. Era fumbling every grenade he had, but it doesn't matter.
This is the worst and best 1v1 I've seen in a long time, by the way. Era just fumbled the Yuto. He wasn't sure about... He didn't have lineups for the molly, for the HE. He's just jumping, throwing, mollies himself out. Needs to use the smoke as well to extinguish himself. And he's still able to close it. Male going for the solo fight and going down. The re-aggression, the fact that Avid is jiggling utility. And that's why Twist goes down as well in towards Monster. That was such a scrappy round of Counter-Strike. But again, the Alliance are able to come out on top. That's back-to-back-to-back 1v1s that they've won, by the way, in buy rounds. 2 of those being 1v2s as well.
Aggressive now. See Male09 getting this aggro all that much. 3 players set up towards A to enable this. Era on the line holding towards Playground, where you can see there are T's posted up. GenOne do manage to take short control as kind of their response to that. At some point they're going to have to disassemble this setup. Oh, the molly as well. Perfect protocols to disrupt, but still a pick comes through and a second player spotted. Avid really wants this fight. Masuda feeling the pressure. 4 players looking to take him out.
What can you really do about it? The entire team just crunches right upon you, but that's a clear signal. There's a little bit of space to be taken in towards A, and they're doing so quickly.
Avid. In fact, everyone just rotating through CT, save for Twist, who's on a long flank, but bomb you think should be planted.
Nade.
Utility will be deadly. Chucky brought down a half off the back of that 1 HE. The smoke gonna slow them down a little bit. Avid looking to see if Chucky will reveal himself. I think he has an idea on it. Okay, he's just holding this in sentry, waiting for the smoke to fade so that he can upset a position, but actually close quarters that Chucky's moved forward. Only good for the 1, but Jocko steps in with his own headshot. Now it's onto this flank. Twist needs to come good. Can't do it. Jocko providing. And I think this clutch is one too far for Male09. Sure, he gets the kill, but he doesn't have the time to make it work. Finally, GenOne get on the board.
That was a long time coming, and Male is not running out of there alive. And now, this is where the real show starts on the T side for GenOne. Look at the money on the side of the Alliance. This is what happens when you've been winning these rounds, but you've been winning so many clutches. It's probably one of the few occasions in which you're going to see a team that's picked up 6 in a row get fully reset after dropping 1. And that's a massive one out of Joko as well. Big effort towards the back of the bomb side. Triple kill out of him. And it just results with an automatic full eco coming out of the Alliance. Game on. Triple boost for the deke.
Oh,
Nope.
not quite.
Slippery.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's 6 rounds in a row, and 1 round for the T side immediately resets the economy. It shows how brutal those clutches were.
Yeah. I mean, it's only fair, right? Because if you're GenOne, you feel very hard done by everything that's been going on so far. It's not like you've been playing a bad T-side, not like you've been calling a bad T-side. It's just you haven't been able to step it up when it matters the most. At the end, Joko has spotted the back of Twist, I'm pretty sure.
He has spotted himself, but...
Careful.
Okay, actually only 1 kill from it, but now they should be able to extend. Dark's been spotted. I like the initial staging of this round as well, just sitting back and letting the rifle on A go searching. Obviously, you're expecting some sort of stack with these kind of half fires. And the rifle's going to have the advantage on that A-bomb site looking for fights. And if Alliance can find anything else, they'll be happy. And for GenOne, just about making sure they don't give over too many rifles here.
MBK might be in a bit of a trap. He seems to know he's contained. His exit is going to get smoked off, and he actually loses the fight to the 11 HP USP of Mayo. Double headshot on that USP. Not too bad of an ordeal for the CTs. UP will still try and do a little bit of extra damage, and these AKs are safe and sound, so even if you don't find anything else, you have been able to get something away from this round. It's not too bad, all in all. You can drop one of these AKs over to Yuppie, who doesn't have enough money to purchase a rifle himself, and Era's going to upgrade himself to the OP.
Well, GenOne earned themselves a freebie there after all their hard work in those clutch attempts. Clutch denial attempts, I suppose.
What is Mayo up to? Aggressive move. Era's pushing long with the OP again. There's no flash for him this time around. Should be a free pickup on the first one. Instant refrag coming out of Joko, though. This is what they needed, but Mayo is still around. Able to find the first. Pushing forward. There goes the second, and Mayo again able to run away with a multi. 13 and 6 for the youngster. Still keeping it going, and eyes on the minimap. Twist is already in T-spawn.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of cognizant of this, but I don't think he wants to overextend. There's so much time on the clock. Just being in this position is so potent. Masuda actually has the read on it. That's kind of remarkable. Who blinks first really is the question. So Joko's first bullet accuracy is so crazy. That kill out towards long. But then Marilo 9 kind of does the same thing twice.
Yeah. Also, you might be thinking about a potential push. Are you clearing out the right-hand side? This is the big question. Even if they know this timing exists, this angle from Twist is nasty. They might overlook it.
There's no way. Yeah.
Oh.
That's such a difficult clear, and, well, the trade comes, but look what it leaves Joko with. Surely no chance in this clutch, especially with only 30 seconds left.
Should be. And the money situation is still equally dire for the T side as well, by the way. You lose this round without a bomb plant. You still might be able to go for somewhat of an investment into the next, but it definitely won't be ideal. And yeah, Joko's just gonna lay his hands on that OP. Save it for the next. This is going to be 7 on the CT side for Alliance quite early on as well. Money still not stabilizing though, Lucy. That's been, it's probably been one of the maps of Counter-Strike with a big score difference that has had the most amount of close rounds. Even when they win, they keep 2 alive, and this is the cleanest they've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's scrappy, but Alliance are the ones that are stepping out ahead almost every single time, and that's the big difference here. So
yeah,
at least Shoko can buy like a Galil here. So it actually ends up kind of fine, him saving that AWP, just about. Just feels like one of these rounds, as soon as it comes through, just like we saw before for GenOne, when they got that one round, immediately that gave them a bonus round. So honestly, this round, a lot of weight on it. If GenOne can take this, suddenly we're talking a 4-8 half, which is a much, much better state of affairs.
Yeah. Might even try and go for a bit of a run towards the 7-5, and look at the speed in towards long this time around. The OP is not around. Era started in towards the B bomb side. In fact, 4 of them have started B in this one, so Mayo's going to be all alone, and this is quite pacey out of GenOne. Oh, information gathered. He spotted multiple people.
Yeah, okay, the rotation starts to come. Considering how much info he even got there, it didn't feel like he was stressed too much about it. Don't have a lot of util to deal with this is the problem, and oh, Melee 9 gets deleted. Error comes up wanting. And
That's safe.
You have to, don't you? You've got no in.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to call it off. An arrow goes down through the smoke. This is a little bit unfortunate. You might not even be able to lay your hands on that AWP. I mean, Avid will try to run away with it. Might actually be alright, but that's a little bit... I think that's a bit of a miscom, by the way, from the side of the Alliance. I'm not really sure what was the idea there. Obviously, Meo was just throwing some utility and trying to hold on to the A-bomb side alone. The issue with this is that he had only an HE, because he did use his molly and smoke in towards middle to begin with, right? In that type of a situation, if you intend to start off by a round like this, you need to leave him an extra Molotov at least to buy some time. Because if he pulls those 3 players in towards long and he's got a molly or a smoke drop by a teammate, it's a completely different round. Or, if you're doing that, you need to be a little bit more proactive in towards B. The moment that he sees those guys in towards long, you group up, you push short, you have people up connector, you have a quick rotation. They just had none of that, right? So you're basically putting all your money on the fact that Meo is A, going to be able to get 1 kill and stay alive, or B, Air is going to go nuclear with an AWP when they both have so many players and a bunch of util to deal with. Didn't really feel like the Alliance had a chance to pick up that round from the very beginning.
No, I'm going for that. Wallbang again this time. Not quite the success, and Masuta is so far progressed up short. Oh, but Upe takes that first contact, so Masuta gets found out. Melo 9 ready for Brixie's play. There could be no trade here. It was Chucky beside him, or not able to deliver that. Jocko is probably going to arrive too late. A 2-player advantage very early into the round.
It's just a legal steal, right? Masuta thinking he had a bit of a timing in towards short. He just gets double peaked by MP9s and loses the fight to the first one he sees as well. Meo still being a threat in towards connector. He's just playing this position all by himself as well, right? He's receiving no support out of his teammates. Just the presence in towards short that was so key under these circumstances. Off angle serves him well. Joko was too late for the party. He had to take responsibility of holding in towards long all alone as well, so couldn't really be in a closer proximity. And now you're pretty forced to go for that B play. 3 players in here, no one on the right hand side though. All of them playing in towards the waters.
Oh my god, and they are just eviscerated by the util, but MBK does find that first kill that could help them scale. Contact comes through from Jocko and without success, MBK, oh my goodness! Can't quite adjust to Mail, who slides on out and bails them out again. MBK making these rounds look doable from nothing.
Yeah, Mayo is a menace, but MBK is bringing in so much impact as well on the side of GenOne. He's really trying his best, isn't he? I mean, it's him, it's Joko, the rest have been having a very cold start to this overpass. Good work coming out of MBK, but Mayo just does one better. 16 and 7. That reads the score for Mayo. And we're just 12 rounds in. Well, 11 played. This is number 12. Might get even more.
Looking like another lopsided half as these maps have had. I mean, 4 is still recoverable from. I think 3 is going to be tricky.
Yep. That's a must.
Even with the CT side advantage.
They have been accustomed to getting free short control to T's. They just have to be a little bit careful about Meo towards connector, but this is the first time they've been able to deal with him fairly easily. That's a good start.
Massive kill to find. Now you feel like you can really do no wrong. Gonna be the group up towards A. Interesting setup from Alliance. They're very far progressed out towards long. It's tucked in towards the bathrooms. The AWP is on the line. They're just letting this control in towards Banana. That will mean that, yeah, okay, that rotation starts to move up from Upe. Avid on a little bit of a journey, and his timing couldn't be better.
That's tricky. Era spotted that second long player as well. Ope missing the first shot, but Era will do a little bit better with the second attempt. And in the meantime, he's just walked out towards the B. Bomb side timing is so bad for Era and so good, or for Masuta and so good for Twist. He just turns around, gets blindsided. And now you don't really have the opportunity to go back B. Now you need to try and power through, and you've got just 20 seconds to do so.
Straight into Era's scope. Chucky, unfortunately, not rating your chances here. Jiggled and dealt with Alliance, looking in cruise control. A 9-3 CT half, looking to secure the series and eliminate GenOne. Well, not looking the best for GenOne. Obviously, a few clutches don't go their way, which are a little bit rough, right? This could have been a bit more competitive if just one of those 2v1s had gone the other way. Unfortunately, it means they have a lot of work up against them.
Yeah, this pistol round pretty much a necessity for the Frenchman. First elimination game for them in Challenger League 51 Cup 1. And this pistol round has already started on a bit of a high note. Aggression coming out of GenOne. More of that, please. But Avid has responded with a flying Glock in towards the B-bomb side. Brooksy still towards the waters, though, and he's not been spotted out yet. Mail, the first one to fall. Brooksy still with a whole lot to do. Tapping away. Avid keeps on racking up these kills. Quick rotations. Oh my god! What a shot out of Joko. The vertical flick. And UP now with a 1 versus 2 on his hands. Surely not another one. And Joko is just going to put him to sleep. It's a triple kill out of him. First bullet accuracy serving him well.
Holy, Joko is something else sometimes, isn't he? That shot was outrageous.
Criminal.
I cannot believe he hits that. Oh man, and even walks away with the final kill too. Great round from Joko. I like GenOne's approach to the pistol too, right? Getting aggressive on A, get to that information early. And they do just enough removing the lurk to make sure that into that retake, even though it's a little bit tricky on the CT side without the kit, they can still try and overwhelm and get it done.
Oh god. This is so nasty. By the way, he was low on HP already. He got goosed up instantly before even getting his first kill on the A-bomb side, and he's still able to get away with a triple. That's a mental play out of Joko. 15 kills. Almost outshining Mail, by the way, already. Speaking of which, careful. Don't give them too many opportunities. Flash is good. Damage dealt. Era. Tapping away. This is very scrappy. Look at how low they both are. The Deagle will put them both to sleep. Hold your horses. This round is still competitive.
Yeah, Twist has certainly made a good case for it. And in fact, you'd argue that Alliance's weaponry is actually kind of superior right now. Gonna have a little bit of util, but a reinforced B bomb site is still gonna be very difficult to breach. This flashbang from Mail has to do a lot of heavy lifting. Unless they just go contact, in which case Brooksy might be in the position just to mop this up. The first kill, that was a low HP player. Trade is good. No damage inflicted. A clean 2-on-2. And BK, that's a nice nade. That's a whole chunk of damage. And Upe, he's being brought low from heaven as well. They're making this so difficult to even get onto the bomb site. In fact, Alliance just slow things down. Hoping they can catch someone somewhere. And, oh, that's it. Upe gets one into the one-on-one. Melo 9 with 5 HP. Just wants to get the bomb down at this point, I think. Gonna stick it. This would be an insane clutch. He has everything against him. And Joko might just have the timing. But the shot! No! Oh! Unbelievable. Instant headshot. And Alliance upset GenOne.
Talk about first bullet accuracy. Talk about a young talent. 16-year-old male, ladies and gentlemen. This kid can do it all. What a scrappy round to begin with. The double refrag, then the kill in towards Monster, the nade out of MBK, and Meo is able to clutch it up. 9 HP in that 1v1 against Joko of all people as well. Best performing GenOne player. Just gets told to sit down.
Great HE. Flashbang dodge. Masuta. Oh, still manages to get a kill. And a lot of damage. Didn't expect a lot from that position. And MBK has had the scout and hit 3 headshots with it. Insane that he's managed to do that multiple times. Won't be allowed another.
Yeah. Since when has MBK been that good with the scout? I want to know. Has that always been a thing? He's looking very good on it. UP. Going on a bit of a scouting mission towards the B-bomb side. Getting 1 kill here would be absolutely huge. If he's able to spot 2 players, there goes 1. And that's information gathered. That should be enough. Just sprint your way in towards that A-bomb side. Era's already on the side itself.
Yes, slightly worried that there could be this fast flank up through bathrooms. That they're going to go through long to get there. And they're right to be worried. That's an M4 picked up as well. Era. Oh, there's a player spotted. Twist can't quite manage the shots. But Era will step in. Nade almost takes down 1 and being such a nuisance here. Looking for both. Era. Exceptional. Saw how good he was on Inferno and continuing it here this time with the rifle.
Yeah, it's just he's been outshining Chucky. And that's the story of it, right? Map number 1 was different. Chucky was the main man and Era had such a bad start to this series. He was on 5 kills on that Ancient. But then you go over to Inferno, now onto Overpass. He's had a lovely resurgence, 17 and 9 now. It's not only Male. I know he's been providing a lot of outstanding plays, but it's him, it's Avid, it's Era, it's Twist. It's everyone on the side of the Alliance and it's Reset and Desperation coming out of GenOne. Forced by might be their last resort. Last ditch of hope.
Back-to-back round. What the hell? Am I watching a replay? This is the exact same round and the exact same opening kill.
Nope.
That was so bizarre.
Yep. That's one of these moments, you know, you just get a massive deja vu, but it literally happened 1 minute ago. So is that really a deja vu? I guess it is. Still dangerous. Bomb's gonna get recovered, making its way back in towards the B bomb side. They have fallen off of the boost, and that is audible for the B players. So they know there's 2 people in towards short. That's the reason they're holding on to that 3-man setup in towards B. But again, you have 1 player on the other side of the map. That's gonna be Era. If he's able to take down that scout, or at least show a little bit of presence, make him nervous, this could provoke another rotation. They're going B though.
Era's being such a what? Again? How's he done that? How does he keep getting away with this? Chucky. Oh, can't quite get that second. Needed to find Twist. And now MVK. He just keeps hitting them. How is he getting away with it? Unbelievable. Finally put down. But again, another double headshot. And again, another round where Alliance walk away with a single player alive.
It's so heartbreaking for MBK, isn't it? Every single time he's bringing in those highlights, every single time he's able to make something out of nothing, out of thin air. Look at these shots. He's firing like he's a 17-year-old prodigy.
He had the read and everything. Oh,
And they're still
MBK.
losing the rounds.
That's 3 significant 1v1s, but I think there might have even been more in this map. Oh my god, what a difference that all makes. This 12-4 is so misleading. I'm actually in shock with how these rounds have played out.
It's probably the most competitive 13-4 you'd ever see. I mean, it's not a given that it's going to be a 13-4, right? GenOne can still try and get a couple rounds, but it's such a closer game than the score actually shows. But in the end of the day, people will always only remember the winner. They open up the HOTV page, they see the score, they'll say, well, that was an easy overpass for Alliance. They just destroyed them, and in some cases they did, but GenOne have been really giving this one a fight.
MBK again. Oh, he's got everyone coming at him. He's completely alone. All his friends are over on B. Flashbang's good, but he can't find those heads. Alliance scampering. Era removes his head. And it's going to be 4 players rotating up from behind. Okay, sees the first. He'll get run down. Still a chance here, but they have to go quick. They have to find these frags fast. And Malo 9, you have to get past him. Twist chimes in with one of his own. The spam takes down 2. And Alliance will confirm the 13-4. They will progress in the lower bracket. And sadly for GenOne, their journey here in the ESL Cup ends tonight.
This is a great streak coming out of the Alliance. Great resilience being shown by the team. First map they've lost in such a long time, and they bounce back in such a perfect way after that engine. A one-way traffic affair on Inferno. Same on Overpass. Regardless of all the close rounds, they still close it out in such a convincing fashion. And this is another. This is technically 5 consecutive wins in that lower bracket, considering they will be playing against the winner of Leo and Illwill into the next one. But commiserations to GenOne, Lucy. I feel like they didn't really deserve to lose that Overpass in the 13-4 fashion.
No, this definitely could have been a much more competitive scoreline, but it did still feel like Alliance were going to win. So I think it is kind of the expected outcome as they now progress further along. We can see Leo team and Illwill still playing out, so it'll be interesting to see which team will be facing them in that semi-final. I think no matter who it is, I definitely still be favoring Alliance in that, so they put themselves in good steading to complete this lower bracket run.
Yeah, they absolutely are, right? And they are looking like one of the most terrifying teams right now in the tier 2 space. And I feel like no matter who you are, the moment that you find yourself in the lower bracket and you're like, okay, I just lost to one of the best teams, maybe I'm in for an easier matchup. The moment you see the Alliance lingering down there, you're just gonna start cursing at life, right? It's a very bad draw to be playing against these guys, especially when everyone's performing to that level. Era had a big resurgence. Mail with incredible consistency all in all since joining this team, what, 1 month ago? A month and a half ago, and he's already looking like he's been here for at least 3 or 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that no matter what plays out in the upper bracket as well, Alliance will be in a good shot. So eager to keep an eye on their run as this ESL bracket plays out. But for us, that is now the conclusion of Europe here in ESL Challenger League. We'll be back in the future to see the rest of the bracket play out. But for now, we'll be saying goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Upe coming over. This bait and switch is going to be perfect, you think, but okay, never mind. It's not the best out towards long. Yeah, Upe can just swing off it. Bomb planter busy, and Upe takes 3 with the MP9. Kill in middle. It is the advantage for Alliance until MBK steps forward. Almost takes 3.
Mayo goes down in towards. Think about the possibility of Mayo coming in from behind.
Yeah, Chucky might just win this round. I can't believe they're going to fumble this.
Heard
Chucky, he hears him jumping, and oh no! Error. Gets onto the CT angle, and Masood just found another. Looking good, Chucky.
There you go.
That second round's coming. Although Chucky gets caught, but MBK, he's holding on fine, and the support comes through. Oh, Melee 9. Oh, the wall bang! A lot of damage inflicted with these HEs. MBK hits the scout headshot. Looking for a second, and he's found it. For him to have moved here, the jiggle will confirm it. MBK will be no stone unturned, but Upe. There's no way. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a without success. MBK. Oh my goodness. Can't quite adjust him. Made almost takes down 1, and he's such a nuisance here, looking for both. Error. They have to go quick. They have to find these frags fast. And Malo 9, you have to get past him. Twist chimes in with one of his own. The spam takes down 2. And
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you